one. Let's go. And we are live.
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Let me set the room real quick.
Hey, let's get a little quick applause. We never thought he'd show up, grace the channel with his presence, coming down to our level. So, big.
We appreciate it, man. My mom's been crying for a year. My mom says, "When will my son go viral?" I said, "Don't worry, Mom. Patrick Bet-David is coming. Patrick Bet-David is coming.
He's coming. Listen.
We're in the Valuetainment ashram. We're blessed.
Okay. Let's do a quick history recap. First of all, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
Time.
Okay, so I got to know you from your channel, Valuetainment, and big fan. You got the hitters, the biggest hitters on Valuetainment. And around that time, I found this John Oliver piece on multi-level marketing, and I saw you had made a video on multi-level marketing, and I was like, dope, I'm going to check out Patrick's take, blah, blah, blah. But eventually, I realized you have this other company, PHP. I think that's one of your main business. Is that your main business? That's?
I would say so. Yeah, I'd say that's the main business. Yes.
Yeah, awesome. And then I realized that that is itself an MLM, and we wanted to talk to you about it because I think MLMs are extremely predatory. By the way,
do you know the difference between an MLM and an FMO?
FMO?
Oh.
FMO and an MLM?
No, what's that?
Okay, so why don't I do this? Give me your understanding what MLM is. What do you guys think MLM is?
An MLM is where you have people underneath you and you make residuals off that, and you go to the next level and you make residuals off that. And so you've got the compensation plan, you've got overrides, you got all that stuff, all that good stuff.
Can I say a definition that's maybe just how I more of a feeling definition?
Please.
To me, it's basically like a pyramid scheme.
Okay.
But you just add a product on top of it, so it's technically not a pyramid scheme. That's kind of the sense that I get.
Fair enough. So tell me what's a pyramid
scheme. Do you think that you're not an MLM? Do you say we are not an MLM? You don't think you're an MLM?
I'm going to give you your answer here in a minute, but I'm curious from your end what you think an MLM is. So for you, an MLM is somebody. Let me give you your explanation, and then I'll give you board.
Yeah, sure.
And then I'll give you the answer as well. So. You think an MLM is somebody who, overrides, residual, whatever, that the money's being made and you make it off other people. That's MLM. That's your explanation.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. But you think it's a pyramid scheme with a product being added to it.
That's the sense that I get.
That's more or less yes. And I think we've seen MLMs play themselves out, things like Amway, Herbalife, where the vast majority, one of the big traits that overall I'm talking about, and because I made a video about where I featured PHP and I talked about y'all's income disclosure, everything. One of the overriding features that I'm critical of, and if you guys aren't an MLM, I'd still be critical of, is that the vast majority of people don't make money, while the push and the marketing is that they will make money and that it's easy to make money and that don't worry about it. It's a lot of people do it.
Like bags.
Does that it's like, hey dude, forget about McDonald's, forget about Walmart, come work for PHP, baby.
Let me ask you guys this. By the way, I love your content. I love what you guys are doing. I think you guys are necessary. And I think long term, I'm so curious to know what you guys are going to adapt into, meaning I don't know what this is going to turn into. I don't know, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. The other day I had John Stossel here. I don't know if you know who John Stossel is.
Yes,
I was talking to John Stossel. And when I was talking to him in the middle of it, I said, you are John Stossel. Okay. And let me tell you why you're John Stossel.
Wow. I missed that.
That's so sweet.
Well, I tell you why, John. That's so sweet. I said, you're John Stossel. Here's why though. Hear me out. And I'm going to get to answering your question. Because John Stossel started off as a guy who was working for ABC, tearing apart businesses. He was doing a show where he was working directly with, consumer affairs, and he was going, look, I got you now. Look at you. You're rip off your scheme. You're ripping people off. And then eventually he realized he heard a lot of these good people that were creating jobs and businesses, and he flipped. He became a libertarian. He still held the Bernie Madoffs accountable, all those guys that are doing things accountable. But then he started protecting more business owners and holding the politicians and the regulators accountable. Anyways, I'm not here to dictate what direction you guys are going to go, but let me answer your question for you. So number one, when you think about multi-level marketing, this is how my career got started. I think you need to know how the story of my career got started. Maybe that'll kind of put everything together. I'm in the Army, I get out. In the Army, one of the favorite things I enjoyed about the military was the camaraderie. Like if you ask me, what did you enjoy about getting out? I mean, it's just like what you guys are doing right now. We would have had so much fun with you because you shoot the shit, you talk shit. You guys are just funny, you're sarcastic, you're condescending. If you have thin skin, it's probably hard to be both your friends if you have thin skin. You would have been fantastic on my Army base. We're like you, I'm like you. That's why you don't bother me. I actually like the way you guys are, but it's not for everybody. I'm sure you guys both know that as well. So I get out of the Army, I work at Bally's. When I work at Bally's, a month after being in Bally's, I'm about to leave because I'm not good in sales. I'm not selling. So this guy named Cisco, who was my sales manager, he helped me out and he said, why don't you go sell at Fox Hills Mall? And I was kind of this, guy that I'm like, I don't want to go sell the memberships. I'm in the back, this guy that are selling around at Fox Hills Mall. Then finally I'm going around the table. Then I sell one membership and I ended up becoming the rookie of the month. Then I stayed at Bally's. It was good to go. Now my 11th month of being with Bally's or 9th month being with Bally's, I get approached by this guy who says, we sell 100-page websites and you can make $20,000 a month. Sure. And you should come and join our 100-page website company. Mm-hmm. You would do so well at it. I'm like, great, fantastic. So I go on a Wednesday meeting at the Best Western, I think was the hotel off of Sepulveda and Devonshire in Granada Hills. I go to the hotel, the guy's giving the talk, it's just all over the place. Bill Gates said that if you're not on the internet, you're going to be out of business within 5 years. So this is when people didn't have websites. The year is 1999, 2000. So I get in, I go one meeting, second meeting, third meeting, fourth meeting. Then he says, to get involved, you have to pay $1,450. And if you get 12 people that get involved at $1,450, you make XYZ off the $1,450. I'm naive. I have no clue what the hell I'm doing. I get in.
Sure.
I get in a company and it's obviously a full-on multi-level marketing company. There's not really a product. So the product is like a, what do you call it? It's like a CD. Like imagine a small little DVD like this. You put in.
Yeah. Or like so shakes or like, exactly, yeah, it could be like Herbalife, whatever.
A website. Yeah. So I got in. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. So I got in. Made some money, nothing impressive. Maybe in like 6 months, I made $5,000, $10,000. I don't even know what it was. I mean, I was broke by the time it was over with. Then I went to another company and the guy I was working with, we went to another company called one-to-one.tv and they sold profit portals. So I'm gonna give you a sales pitch, which was classic. This is how the pitch was from the founder. Imagine you're watching the Laker game and Kobe goes for a shot. And in the background, you see Chris Rock wearing a black sweater and you like it. And you click on it, it takes you to a website and you can buy this one. I'm like, what a freaking sick idea. I'm all in, right? So I said, this is fantastic. So I went in and now this is now 21 years old. At this point, I'm given the presentation 5 months later because I made a little bit of money in 5 months, like $30,000. And they have me on the yacht at Newport Beach. I'm like this poster child guy, I'm giving these presentations. And then one day I go Monday morning to collect checks. True story. I go to Santa Ana. And I'm going to the building. I go upstairs. I see in the elevator a guy named Ray Mario, he messaged me the other day on Facebook, random story. He's the president of the company. We're going upstairs to get, I'm like, hey, President Ray, how are you? He's like a 40-year-old. I'm like a 21-year-old. Oh my gosh, it's so good. We're going upstairs. We go in to collect the checks because I have a sales meeting that night at Conrad's La Crescenta. And 200 people are showing up. They're going to hear Patrick's going to give away checks. Anyways. We go and we knock on the door. No one's opening the door. He puts his key in. No one's opening the door. Cleaner comes up. Security shows up. Said, what are you guys doing? I said, we work here. We're trying to collect the checks. And he's trying to go to work. They say they came over the weekend and shut down the entire building, took the phone system, took everything. They're out of here. That's one-to-one.tv. Okay.
Right. That's
then after that. Yeah.
But, I mean, but hold on, because our time is really short. And I feel like we're going to get way into it. So what I want to ask you is that I hear you. You have a background in this area. What was your takeaway from that? Was your takeaway to
I'm getting to the point for you. So I'm getting into the point for you. So the point, because this is the last part of it. So anyways, I go into a couple others with this guy. Then I said, I'm done. I said, never call me again for any recruiting businesses. I'm out. I leave. This is, I don't know. This is 5 months before 9/11. So then it's that time where I'm dating a girl who's working at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. She tells me to go work at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. I finally get a job at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter about the day before 9/11.
Hypergamy.
It's 9/10.
Bro, you're dating up. She's loaded and you're broke. I like that. But
she had the money. I didn't have the money. I was totally broke at the time. Yeah, but thank God I met her because she had at least introduced me to real industry.
Thank God you got that game, baby. I always know that you got game, dude.
You think I got game? I don't think I have your kind of game. I bet both of you guys probably have better game than I do. I'm a married guy now, 42 with 3 kids. I don't have any clue what game is today.
Back then you were
married
slinging, Habibi.
I was probably good back then. I can't discount that, but it's a different story today.
You're with this girl.
Right.
Wait.
I want to answer this question because I want to respect your time. I want to respect your time because I know you want to get to your questions. So anyway, so I go to Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. I'm a numbers guy. I fall in love with numbers. I love the financial industry, but there's one problem. Here's one area I had a problem with. One night we're at Mark Hopkins Hotel, San Francisco, and the speaker comes up. He's like the main broker. Like imagine a movie, Ben Affleck, where he comes up, that's my Ferrari, that's my house, that's my wife, that's this, that's that. So he comes up and he gives that message, but it's at Morgan Stanley, not JT Marlin, right?
Yeah.
And we took him out that night. We took him to have some drinks. And by the time it was done, we said, how do you make your money? He says, look, you got to learn how to sell, but then the key is to recruit and train advisors. So perfect. This guy wants to recruit and train advisors. My roommate, the 3 weeks I was in San Francisco, was a guy named Ed who worked at Primerica for 6 years. So I'm trying to put all the pieces together for you here. He's at Primerica. He's leaving Primerica because he hates recruiting. I'm at Morgan Stanley. The main guy that's showing up that's making 3 million a year as a recruiter of advisors. I'm putting all that stuff together. Morgan says you have to bring $12 million of money under management. You're one or else you're fired. So I passed my Series 7. My classmate's name is Ted Williams III. Like, you know which Ted Williams we're talking about. So all these guys who came from families, they could raise the $12 million. I couldn't. I left. I went to Transamerica World Financial Group, which had a high volume recruiting philosophy. I'm with Transamerica for 7.5 years. So then you put all that stuff together. Social media comes out in October of 2009. I had a falling out. I took what I learned in the military, insurance, World Financial, a bit of the recruiting with multi-level, and then you have PHP. So that's the real behind the scenes story of how this whole thing came about.
Right. So, and I hear you there, and I do think that's an interesting backstory. But my main thing and my main sort of gripe with you is you've got these like amazing entrepreneur videos, but the backing and the real backing for your entrepreneurship is PHP. I mean, that's a lot of where it comes from. And so
what's the biggest problem you have with it? What's the biggest problem you have with it? I know the one thing which we'll address, which you said the income disclosure, 100%. I have it written down to address it. We'll address that. But what other areas do you have a problem with?
I think it's the income disclosure.
Okay.
It's deceptive marketing.
Can you unpack that? Tell me what you mean by
I'd be happy to unpack it.
Yeah.
First of all, before we do that, we have to talk about the income disclosure. So real quick, on my screen, let's see if we can do this live, guys. Let's see if we can do this live.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I'm a huge fan of the Valuetainment videos. They're inspirational.
So just so everybody has it right here. This is the 2020 PHP disclosure right here. Yeah. Sorry for that.
Can you move it up so they can see the bottom? Because the point you got to make has got to be lower.
Of course.
Yeah.
Look at it making my point for me. What a gentleman. Okay, so the point is that the majority of people lose money make almost no money with the company. So let me put this here. We'll back this up. There we go. Yeah. 60% of people make $215 according to your numbers. And these are life licensed agents, meaning they got through. So when your fee is $200 a year and you have 60% of your workforce making $200 a year, they're making nothing. And then the pitch, because I've seen the pitch, I was watching the pitch last night, is that it's easy to make this money. It's easy to quit your job.
Which pitch did you hear?
Your
pitch.
Did
you hear my pitch?
Yeah, your sexiest compensation plan pitch. I watched it from the Valuetainment website. Yeah.
We don't have it on Valuetainment website.
It's one of the education, portals.
But I'm glad you did. But here's the part. So let me explain the income disclosure. So let's start there first. Number one, do you think if this was an area that we were embarrassed of, we would publicly disclose it? No, we wouldn't do it. And we legally have to? I don't know. We don't have
but
to.
But if this were my company, I would be embarrassed of this. So maybe I don't understand.
But can I explain to you why?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the part about insurance is the following. Here's the point I was kind of trying to make to you earlier. When I went to Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, I'm a full-timer.
Yeah.
I have to expect to bring a block of business in or else I'm fired. Okay. In real estate, almost every single real estate agent starts part-time because the average real estate agent doesn't even sell one home per year. Their first year, they don't even sell a home. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, today in America, if you look at the statistics, we have 1,439 something realtors licensed in America today. We only have 1 million homes on the market today. The average realtor doesn't even sell a home per year. The average realtor sells half a home per year, a quarter of a home per year. So the numbers are the numbers no matter what industry you look at. But let me go to our income disclosure. Number one, we don't charge $200 per year. Our competitors do, $199 and it's like $34.95 a month, or $75.95 when you get to a certain place, you pay more monthly premium, or $124.95. We don't. It's $199, you get started, and a part of that's training and licensing. You don't pay again. So to address your concern,
you pay $99 a year, though, right? You pay $99 a year.
4 years ago, or 3 years ago, I could get the exact dates for you. 3 years ago,
okay,
it was $14.95 per month. We stopped it and we started doing $199. And then if you're a marketing director for the software, I don't know what the amount is. And if you're a associate, I think it's $99. So the non-marketing director number would be $99 a year. And then a marketing director would be like $199 a year. But that's if you're a marketing director, it's a different position. That's not the majority.
But it feels like we are quibbling about the fact that you have advertising, and this goes to where I think it's deceptive advertising. You have pitches going out to people who want to get involved with PHP that say, it is easy to make this money. And by your numbers...
absolutely not easy to make money. I've never said it's easy.
Well, in the marketing videos.
Well, no,
I find everybody does this.
Wait. Let me show you exactly where you said it's easy to make this money.
If you're around me long enough, you would know I talk about that this is a challenging industry to be a part of. You would not hear me talk about it's easy to make millions.
Hold on. Not easy to make millions. I'm talking about easy to make more than $200, which we know is above average, more than the average.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you a different question here. Let me flip it on you. How many subscribers?
Hold on, real quick. Before you say that, 1 sec. I just want to play you, just so you know, I'm not pulling this from nowhere, right?
Allows you to do that. So for some of you guys that are watching this and you're extremely competitive, this is your way to get to the top of the compensation plan within PHP. So that right there, with everything I covered with you, is 23 different ways we get paid. So as you're watching this, you can ask yourself, you can either build a small part-time business, making $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, part-time, totally fine. Many people do it.
So, okay, you're saying part-time is $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month. Then you say this.
Second, you can say, you know what? I make 60 grand on my job. I can easily make $100,000 a year with this, and I can do it on my own time as a business owner.
Do you understand how you're implying when you say easily make $100,000 a month with this business? You're implying.
No, I'm not saying. I didn't say you can. I said if you think you can easily make 6 figures, you can do this business. Listen, let me give you a different part. Please work with me here for me to try to explain this.
I'm here to listen.
You have to know if I'm here to talk to you. I'm proud of the business I do. This isn't something where I'm. If I'm afraid of representing the company, I would never be here. I'd let this thing be irrelevant and I would move on. But that's not my style. And I actually like your approach to the way you guys do things. I wanted to show up out of respect to you. So how many subscribers do you guys have? What's your number?
Wait. But before we move on, and I'd love to address.
Hear me out.
Wait.
Kind of power move. We know you have.
This was my point about, you said you never said that it was easy, but then you said part-time you can make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. What I'm telling you,
you're gonna allow me to answer your question for you.
Right. Sure.
How many subscribers do you guys have?
I have 300K on my main channel, and then 300K on my
17,000, 14,000.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
By the way, if you're in the audience, subscribe to the channel, send it to your friends.
Yeah. By the way, let me ask you a question. How hard is it to get to 300,000 subscribers?
Very hard.
Very hard. I agree. How hard is it to get to 100,000 subscribers?
Very hard.
It took me 2 years and I was still only at 2,000 subscribers. It's not an easy game. It's a very, very hard game,
Absolutely.
Right? But are there people that are making millions of dollars on YouTube if they take it seriously? Sure.
Of course.
Are there people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars if they take it seriously? Of course. Are there people that are doing YouTube just to make $200 a month? Yes, a lot of people are. The way you use YouTube or PHP is up to you. We have people that want to use it to make millions, but quite frankly, we have a lot of people that do it to want to make $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month.
I think that's complete. So respectfully, I think that is absurd. The reason people get involved is not with an entire company to go sell stuff. Is not you don't become a part-time salesman to make $500 a year.
And that's where we disagree. And that's where we disagree. And let me explain. It's okay for us to disagree, by the way. The part where I disagree is the following. Here's the point I was trying to make to with Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. At Morgan, I'm full-time. I'm forced to hit quotas. If I don't hit quotas, I'm fired. Because I have quotas, I'm not necessarily forced to do the best thing for clients all the time because it's based on quotas. I believe insurance, investments, this is a business to get into, even real estate, to get into part-time and work your way up. You may not like the business. You may hate this business. You may say, this isn't for me. No problem. But at least you gave it a shot. And if it works out for you, this could end up being a career for you, part-time or full-time.
Right. But what I'm saying, though, is you're representing part-time again as 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 in the marketing. And then the reality is most of the people we would probably label part-time in your company are making $200 a month, and 90% are making less than McDonald's.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Let me explain to you those people that are making $200 per year or per month, whatever the number is, $200 per year. They're not part-time. They're not even sometime. Listen, there are people, you have to understand this. I'm trying to be reasonable with you. There are people that literally are a mother who take care of their kids. They have a person in the soccer mom community they send as a lead. Somebody else sells it. They get a split commission, $300. They're happy with that. There are people that don't want to sell. There are people that have no desire to sell. All they want to do is play the referral game with somebody else. And that is not considered part-time. That is not even considered sometime. These are people that may put 20 hours per year into this business. That's not a part-timer. That is a sometimer. There are people that, I know people that are realtors, probably you know it as well, where they got their real estate license just to sell their family's real estate. They don't do it full-time. They don't do it part-time. So you got to understand the insurance business, the real estate business, and I'm representing a lot of my friends and competitors probably are watching this right now that are saying, hey, none of us had the audacity to get on a video like this. He's on here, and some of these guys are
big respect to you for doing that. We appreciate it.
But what I'm saying to you is, and I'm sorry, I'll turn it over because I know I want to address your questions as well, is what I'm saying to you is some people are full-timers, some people are part-timers. For us to disclose, I'm not going to sit there and say, let me just take my top earners and put the calculation in a way where the number looks good for me. I have to put people in there that haven't written a policy for 3 years, but they're appointed with us. So I can't count those guys as part-time. I just have to, for disclosure purposes, share it with everybody else.
So I want to paint you a picture because I hear what you're saying, but I want to paint you a picture of the way I see PHP, and then you can address it. So you're saying, you know, the insurance industry is more like this industry where, you know, this kind of just is the case that people are in it part-time and et cetera, et cetera. I want to paint you a different picture where PHP is much more like a generic MLM than anything else. And I know MLM isn't an industry, but I'm saying MLM share characteristics across the board. So when you look at the income disclosures that I shared on my video, they all look the exact same. All of them, 90% of people are making less than a McDonald's salary. All of them, the top 5%, top 3%, top 1% are actually making, 0.1% are actually making the claims that they're making as like, oh, this is normal, this is possible, whatever. It's a tiny, tiny fraction, and that's never disclosed.
Very much so.
And so I see you as fitting in with these other MLMs who are shady and deceiving people with how they are presenting themselves. Listen, if you presented yourself as, hey, you join, listen, honestly, it's like almost, there's about a 1% chance that you're going to do really well. Maybe 2%. If we look at your numbers, maybe 2% of you guys will really make a full-time, even $100K a year income. The rest of you are going to do Walmart or worse. And if you said that, and you don't obviously have to say it so pathetically, but if you said that, I'd be fine. But when I was looking at like things like Herbalife, right, which I find you guys very similar to, I see this is the kind of thing that I'm seeing behind the scenes. And I just want to share this with you for a second, because I feel like this is sort of the vibe of multi-level marketing, which I think you share much more in common with. Listen to this. This is a leaked recording from Herbalife. And you don't have to talk about them. I'm talking about this is the overall vibe of the business.
We sell people on a dream business that they can make it. Yet deep down inside, what do we really know? Yeah, we know that the reality is that most of them aren't going to make it.
Real quick, this is the chairman. This is like one of the chairman's club guys, top guy in that company. This is not a small fry. This is one of the top MLMs that people say are legit MLMs. This guy's saying, hey, the thing we'll never tell people is that it's all a game and we are selling them on an unattainable dream for most of them. Let's listen a little bit more.
Who wants to bring their family into a struggle to make it? Who wants to bring their family into an eventual deception? You know, there's some people that if they heard that we were talking like this in a room, you know, I would have to have a bulletproof vest on right now. You know what I mean?
So that's what I wanted to share with you. And so when I think about PHP, this is the problem that I see, is that I see when I was watching your sexiest compensation plan, I'm seeing these big aspirational, like, $1 million things. It's easy to make. It's easy to make this, or people do this all the time. That was actually one of your most common phrases. Was you talk about something, you go, people do this all the time. It's not that hard, guys. It's not that hard. But when I look at your compensation plan, it is that hard, because I know that people. I don't think you would say people who work for you are lazy. I don't think they are at all. I'm sure they're hardworking and they want to make a better life for themselves. That's why they got involved. So when I see, I'm going to say, okay, the people working for PHP are hard workers. So therefore, it must not be true that it's as easy or done as often as Patrick is saying, because clearly it's not, just by your numbers. May
I?
Sure.
Okay. So first of all, let's address the video that you showed. I have no idea who that individual is, and I don't know. I don't want to comment on the person, but you have to know, and I'd be naive if I told you there aren't some very weird things said in people in the multi-level marketing world. It's just, you have to be very, if you want to go dig in, you're going to find some very weird stuff. I'm surprised that's all you found. There's a lot of other stuff that you can find that I can give you stuff to look for. It's just so interesting where you're hearing some of these people. And I've been in meetings from like, one guy in a meeting said, if your marriage is more important than your dreams, if your dreams are more important than your marriage, you'd leave your husband right now. I'm like, oh shit, that's like, you say that? You can't say stuff like, but I've heard it. So look, I can't sit here and say everybody's good and everybody, I'm not here to do that. Now, at the same time, to Herbalife's credit, Herbalife is a publicly traded company. They are held to certain standards. It's not easy to be a publicly traded company. Everyone sees your numbers. You're naked. You're constantly getting criticized. You're on calls. You're being held accountable. But at the same time, a company like Herbalife, I'm certain, has changed a lot of people's life positively. Are there bad people in there as well? Probably. Let's talk about PHP now that you brought up and said, a lot of similar tactics forever. Okay, for example, and you said hardworking. I'm sure all the people in PHP are hardworking. I got 3 kids, okay? When I was coming up, if you ask my dad is officially in Florida. If you and I went out and you came to Florida, you came visited us, and you sat with my dad. So I just want to interview that. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to your dad. Go ahead. I'm even going to step away. You talk to my dad. Let him tell you all the shit he wants to talk about me. He's probably going to tell you the truth. He would tell you I was the laziest kid in the world. I was very lazy. I was distracted. I was lazy. And then obviously events happen to everybody is different. He had a heart attack. I love my dad. The rest is history. I'm off to the races. I want to make him happy. And now obviously I got a wife and 3 kids and 1 on the way. I have 3 kids. As much as I love my 3 kids, I went to school and the teacher said, your son said the S word the other day. I said, what did he say? He said shit. I said, okay. And then he said the F word today. I'm like, well, if he said shit, that's my fault. But if he said the F word, I didn't say it. He learned it in school. I said, okay, fair enough. So I can't sit here and say my 5-year-old son at the time was like this angel and he's going around doing everything right. What am I saying to you? What I'm saying to you is, when you say everybody in PHP is hardworking, that's a stretch. I would probably say 5 to 10% of the people in a company are hardworking. I would say, and I'm talking about my own kids, my own agents. So if anybody's going to look like a fool here, it's me. I would say even the 10 or 20% are giving their best And I would say the rest of them either don't believe that this is going to work, or either this isn't for them, or they just haven't figured it out. And I'm okay with that. I'm very patient when it comes down to that. So the structure business side of it, that's that. Now, let me give you the last part, and then I'm going to turn it over to you.
Sorry, Patrick, real quick.
Go for it.
One thing that we didn't really get into here is that, let's just say there are a bunch of people like you said, the real estate agents who just do it to sell their parents' property. Let's just say that's the bottom 10% in PHP, right? What about the people that think they're going to make it and they spend 10 years there, and after 10, 15 years, they realize, oh, I actually just work minimum wage for the last 10 years. And even I heard from one of your sales reps, and he took the video down since then. So I'm so sorry. But he took the video down, but he was saying he was basically trying to recruit WFG guys. And he's like, yo, is Ed Milet your daddy? Then why are you paying his retirement, dog? We got the good whatever. And he actually explained how WFG...
I can't stand that stuff. But whoever said that is not on I'm not a fan of that. Just so you know.
It's fine. But I'm just
I have to tell you. No. Let me say one part here.
Sure.
Ed Milet calls me. We speak probably 3 to 6 months. I have 100%. Respect for my competitors. Every 100%. One of my competitors that we go out, I salute them, because this is not an easy gig, especially at their level, because they're being pointed at all the time. And they're constantly talking about them. So let's control
everyone. But he was just saying that about a WFG. He basically explained that in these MLMs, the top guys make money. And he basically explained that you got out of WFG or whatever because you actually realized that if I want to make real money, I got to start my own. Because only the top 2% are going to make money. After 20, 30 years, everyone's going to get screwed at the bottom.
Can I tell you the story? Do you want to know the story, or you want me to?
Let's talk about. I don't want to get into
because you can't say things like that and then leave me alone to not give my argument. If you're gonna make a comment like that, I almost have to
address it.
Let's stay with the argument and sure.
So let's stay on that. Number one, I watched Jerry Maguire. And it's one of my favorite movies. So I wake up, I watch Jerry Maguire, and I get this idea to write a 16-page letter to the company. I write a 16-page letter to the company. Nobody responds back. And 2 weeks later, that letter gets forwarded to the CEO of Aegon. Within 30 minutes, I get a call back. Then we have a meeting in Irvine. And then that leads to a back and forth with them. And we had a falling out for different reasons. They know why I left. I even wrote about it in the book, Your Next 5 Moves. And I left to start PHP. But going back to the one thing I do want to address about what you said with Herbalife and comparing it with everything with PHP and all this other stuff. Here's the difference, guys. I don't have any sets of regulation at the highest level if I want to get into any multi-level marketing company. When you get into PHP, you're not going to make money unless you get licensed, unless you go through a background check. The state has to do a background check on your fingerprinting, misdemeanor, felony. So there is an element of background check that we go through that in MLM anybody can join. Not anybody can sell life insurance. It's a bit of a difference with some of our competitors. Go ahead.
I completely disagree, and here's why. When we're talking about MLM versus Herbalife versus PHP, what I'm talking about is who actually makes it, right? Because both are saying, look, this is a viable replacement for a full-time income. You can make it. Anybody can make it. In fact, forget that 9-to-5 job where you're going to be stuck. Sky's the limit. Okay, that's what both of them say. And of course, we know the realities are almost identical in terms of their actual performance. So you're telling me, hey, PHP is different because you have to get licensed. But I'm looking at your license.
By the way, can you hang tight for me? Is that music on our end? If it's on our end, I want to turn it.
No, we'll just play it sometime.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Hey.
Go ahead.
Let's turn it off. Let's turn off the music and get serious for a second here. Okay?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that across the board, you're looking at your life licensed agents. So either way, we are comparing apples to apples because you're saying, well, there's a qualification, but I'm only comparing your qualified
what I'm saying on the life license. No, what I'm saying on the life license, you're right on the income disclosure. I'm not disputing that. Right. All I'm saying is on the life license side, not anybody can get into the business, meaning there's got to be a certain element of background check to sell insurance while you don't do traditional MLM.
Right, but the actual performance, money into people's pockets. When we talk about multi-level marketing, and you know as well as anybody how criticized it is, let me be honest with you. I hear a lot of guys go, we don't understand why we're criticized. It's because the compensation plans always leave people out to dry. The vast majority of people lose money or make almost nothing. And despite the continued rhetoric by the CEOs of these companies, and Patrick, I include you in that, of, these people just want to work part-time. They just want to work part-time. If these people could be making a lot of money, and they were sold on the idea, by the way, that they're going to make a lot of money, and it was really as easy as they were told it was, why aren't they making it? They are told repeatedly that this is easy, that if the line is basically this, hey, come to MLMs, you shoot for the moon, even if you fail, you'll end up with the stars.
That's
You'll
not true, though. That's not true.
You
though.
have actively promoted that idea.
That's not true, though. I have not. That's not true.
Well, to be fair,
No.
Patrick says both. You do say sometimes
No.
it's hard work, and then sometimes you say,
Amish,
like, come on, let's get this money.
let's show his own statement in his
This
own
video is so
show.
tight, though, too. I love this video, dude. Champ is here. Which video we got?
No. This is from the Sexiest Compensation Plan. This is what you say about making it, all those kinds of things. Let me pull this up.
By the way,
real
video
quick.
crew, tight, dude. I love the editing. I love the video crew, man.
A lot of people that could be watching this and saying, Pat, give me a break. Who makes $1 million your income? You know who makes $1 million your income? Watch this.
Okay, hang on here, guys. We got to find this real quick.
Is 1 in 1,000 really that special? Wasn't there a song called You're 1 in a Million? You know how that song, You're 1 in a million? Now that's something. Like you tell a girl, baby, you're one of a kind. You're 1 in a billion. What would happen if you told a girl, baby, you're 1 in 1,000? Your girl would say 1 in 1,000.
Hold on.
Baby, 1 in 1,000 is not special. What's the point? Anybody can make $1 million your income.
Anybody can make $1 million income. Now, before you respond to that, let me keep playing it for a
Because
second.
out of 1,000 people, one person's making $1 million, and so can you.
Watch this.
If you get to work and you have this compensation plan work for you, you can make a lot of money. And what if you come?
This is what I want to talk about, Patrick. This is what I have a massive problem with. It's not, hey,
Tell
most
me
people
which
lose.
part of it. Tell me which part of it bothers
Right
you.
here, right here.
You messed the whole thing up. You only make $200,000 a year.
You completely messed things up. You only made $200,000 a year. This is an onboarding style video, or people would send this video to people.
Can I make a suggestion?
What if you completely mess this thing up and part-time you make $60,000 next year? Would that change your life?
$60,000 a year, part-time. Nobody's making this. Like, it's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction.
Shocking, you guys? Is this shocking, you guys? What part of this upsets you? What part of this upsets you?
The deceptive marketing, Patrick.
That's not deceptive marketing. It's not. Let me explain to you what it is. That is not deceptive marketing. That's not deceptive marketing. Look,
I disagree.
A part of what you do is also deceptive because you don't know the whole story. Think about it. A big part of what you do is you don't know the whole story. You say what you say, and a lot of it is assumptions, and some of it may be true, but it's not 100%
But address
accurate.
the video.
Also,
Don't push it onto me. Address the
but
video
let me-
itself.
May I make my points?
Sorry, good.
Well, you always say you're making your point, but then it's not about the actual thing I'm saying, though.
But if I can, I'm going to make my point to your point that you asked. So, for example, he said something earlier. He said, "What if somebody's in it and 10 years later they find that this doesn't work for them?" That's 2/3 of marriages that people get married and are like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been married for 10 years and this is not." Most decisions that we make, we may not make the right decision. It may be a career-wise, business-wise, but to sit there and put all the onus on the technology, on the industry, on the company, on the occupation,
Marketing.
that's also a little bit irresponsible to put all the onus on that. Now, if we as a company have to take responsibility, what would it be? It would be, we can probably find a way to improve training. We can probably find a way to, like, one of the challenges I face, when I run a sales office, I can touch you, right? Like, I can work with you. I kind of know what you're doing. So I can say, hey, here, let me work with you because you need a little bit of training. I can help you how to sell this. The challenge comes when you become national and you have a lot of offices. Sometimes it becomes tougher to train the newest guys. That is a challenge we struggle with. That is a challenge that we have to get better in. And it is a challenge that's going to be continuous, but we have to work on that. So there are a lot of areas that as a company we have to work on. I'm not going to sit here and dispute that part, but what am I going to say? Think about it. When you go on a date with a girl, what do you tell her if you really want this girl to be your girlfriend and be your wife? Do you tell her, hey, I don't know if I'm going to be the best husband for you. I don't know if I'm going to be this. I don't know if, you're going to sell her the dream. Everything's about selling the dream. Barack Obama got elected selling the dream. So did Lincoln. So did Clinton.
Can I lie about how much money I make? Can I just be like, yo, I got 2 million in the bank?
No, I don't like that. I do not like that part.
Right?
I'm not a fan of. By the way, you know what's amazing about what you say? The reason why I like the whole ring situation, like when you get rings and people make money, you kind of can't lie about how much money you're making. By the way, to your credit, there are a lot of people in this industry that lie about how much money they make, and I cannot even debate that part. It happens in this industry quite a lot.
But real quick, because I hate to just put us back here, but you managed to say a lot without addressing the main point, which is that
is this the one? If you fall, if worst case scenario, you'll make this worst case. Is that what you want? What you want to address?
Worst case, part-time, worst case. Because you said, look, it's like a relationship. It's like this. It's like, no, it's not. McDonald's can't go to you and say, hey, you're going to do such and such. They have to tell you, hey, you get this job, you're going to make this much money.
Yeah, but McDonald's also doesn't give you the opportunity to make 6 figures, $250,000 or $500,000 or $1 million. They also don't give you the upside. People do. But it's not. But you have to realize
probably a fraction of a percent, just like it is with your company.
The CEO started at price.
So what I'm trying to say to you, what I'm trying to say to you is, look, if you get into any kind of like arguments or, well, McDonald's pays you more, yeah, but the upside is not as much. If you, well, let me go to an established company. Well, I don't have an opportunity.
The deceptive marketing. I don't have a problem with that. I'm telling you, you're selling a dream to people that is not borne out by your own facts that you distribute regularly. And as the CEO, don't you have to tell people what is actually true?
There is the dream.
You just said you're selling people the dream, and then you said, look, what's the worst that happens if you fail? Hey,
yeah,
look,
but here's the part. So think about it this way.
But if you fail, you're making $200 a year and paying $99 in a fee, probably.
But you really think you're a smart guy. There's no way in the world you're a dummy here. You're a smart guy. You're an intellectual guy to be able to have this kind of discourse. There's no way you don't have a lot here. Do you really think somebody makes $200 a year not working hard? Honestly, let me ask this question from you one more time. Do you really think somebody makes $200 a year working hard? Honestly, you're a reasonable guy.
I think this is what happens. I think a lot of people get sold on the dream by a bunch of hyped up marketing, and they think
it's not hyped up marketing.
They think because people tell them that part-time you're going to make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. They think part-time you're going to make $60,000 a year. It's so much better. They flock in. They realize they've been misled.
If you would be willing to be reasonable with me, I can have a discourse with you, but you're not. You cannot sit here and tell me. What am I not being reasonable about? I'm asking you a question. You're a smart guy. Yeah. Do you actually think a person who doesn't sell one home a year, that's the real estate industry's fault? Do you actually think a person who sells only one home, that's real estate industry's fault? Do you actually think a person who only makes $200 per year, that's the industry's fault? You have to know that. Let me explain. We have a number of agents. You're shaking your head like you're trying to say this is deceptive.
Oh, no, I was just laughing because I said, let me explain. And you said, let me explain.
Because I'm giving you guys respect. I'm making it seem like we're having a very respectful conversation.
It is respectful.
I'm not disrespecting you. So just think about it this way. If I have a guy in the company that's making $1,000 a month, they're making $500 a month, they're making $2,000 a month. If they don't want to put more effort, they don't have to put more effort. I can't force the person to put more effort because I don't have a quota. You're not my employee, so I can't force you. By the way, take the pool of agents that we have appointed with us, okay? Take that number. Say the number is 12,000, 13,000, whatever the number is that's active. We've licensed 23,000, but say 13,000 is active with us, licensed and appointed, right? Okay. Out of the 13,000 that are actively licensed and appointed, how many you think get on Zooms? How many you think go to trainings? How many you think get on calls? Can we agree the number of people that actually get on calls on a weekly basis is probably 10% of that? See, I can't force them to get on because it's not an employee. I can't say you better get on. But the percentage, if you go from those who are actively involved, the numbers then become just like any other industry. But what hurts the numbers for us is those that we can't force to go work because it's 1099. I know this doesn't make sense to you, and I know you don't have to agree with it, but I'm giving you the basics of math.
And I'm trying to listen to you guys are like, you're on the same point. There's honestly, I feel like right now we can't prove this because we don't know. It's Steven, even on our end, we don't know what percentage of people are in that bottom, like just part-time, got the license, not even selling it anymore. We don't know what percentage are. We strongly believe that most people are not going to end up making money still. Like, okay, fine. Take those
I would agree with you.
It's still going to be 85.
But I would agree with you. But I would agree with you.
Right. So real quick, because you're talking about like, your company, whatever. What I'm trying to say is draw a parallel and say, if you compare PHP to MLMs as a whole, you see the exact same pattern and you see the same defenses from CEOs saying, hey, this isn't this isn't wrong. There's nothing wrong with this. Don't you understand that these
Not
people
deceptive.
want
Not
They
deceptive.
just.
But,
I'm not
but
for-
you understand that, like, across
I
the
do. I
industry,
do.
everybody says this. They all
I
say,
don't
"Hey,
look. Let me say this to you. Let's talk about Amway.
Sure.
I've never been a part of Amway. I bought their protein bars 20 years ago, but I've never been part of Amway. I'm not an agent in Amway at all whatsoever. But I'm going to my realtor here. He showed me this home, real nice home, okay, in a nice area, Manalapan. And he takes me to this guy's home. He says, "You know whose house that is?" I said, "Who?" "That's Rich DeVos's house." I says, "Who's Rich DeVos?" Obviously, I know who it is. I'm trying to get him to tell me the story. He says, "Rich DeVos is the owner of Orlando Magic." I said, "Really? How do you make his money?" He said, "Amway. You ever heard of Amway?" I said, "I've heard of Amway. Yeah, of course." I said, "How was he to work with? You know, a lot of people say a lot of bad things about this guy. How was Rich DeVos?" He says, "Can I be honest with you?" He says, "Yes." I said, "I've never been in Amway. I never trusted Amway because when I first was representing him, I was so concerned. I've never met this kind of a man in my life who was kind and respectful to me, to my wife, to my kids. Amway is doing 12 billion a year. Do you think they're doing 12 billion a year because they did something wrong? Now, to your
They
argument,
paid off the government.
to many companies do as they get big, because the bigger you get, the more mistakes you make.
But
you
this
can't
was
assume.
big, Patrick. Please.
And they're constantly-
by the way,
the government.
Listen, MLMs, it's not a coincidence that MLMs are constantly in legal trouble for, hey, this looks a lot like a pyramid scheme. Hey, this
Yeah,
is like,
And Amway paved
this
the
is
way.
basically
for
a pyramid
No?
scheme, though.
It's
And
not Amway paved the way, guys. I'm in the financial industry. I'm in the insurance industry, and a part of what these folks did, they positively impacted many people's lives. You don't have to agree
But-
with that. You're
but
not there
they
to.
negatively impacted way more people's
way
lives.
more.
I disagree. Can I
But
tell you why I
can look at
disagree?
the numbers. It's not
Can
about
I-
me
can I-
agreeing, and it's not about a story about Rich DeVos. It's about
I-
the numbers, though.
Can I make my argument? When you
Yeah,
say
but
they,
you have to address the fact that the numbers show.
but
that-
tell me why you say they negatively impacted a lot of people. In what ways? Tell me.
Well, they had
So-
to lobby the government. To me, the sign, like I love capitalism, like you.
Yeah.
We love capitalism. So
Sure.
when a company has to spend billions every year since the 70s to, and let's call it
Amway
what it is,
spend
in
billions
Iran,
every year. Amway spend billions every year.
Well,
No.
they started
No,
off.
No.
They had to
You
spend
can't
a lot
say
No,
of
that's
that.
not true.
Not every year,
That's
sorry,
not true.
over
Hold
the
on, hold on,
years.
hold on,
No.
hold on,
Over
hold
the
on.
years.
How did it negatively affect? I want to answer this real quick. How did it
Please.
negatively affect?
Because I'm going to give you
people's
my
lives?
argument
Sure.
of how they negatively affected, but I want to hear yours. Go ahead.
Sure. Wasted people's time. They left people in the NFL, the No Friends Left Club. They cost and sucked. A lot of their profits and revenues have been found to be actually from the quote biz op people. Guess what? When you're in Amway, a lot of it is like, well, now you have to become a product of the product. Well, now you got to
Yeah.
buy the product. Now you got to get on board with the product, right?
Sure.
So where did these sales come from? Are they external? Is there this huge demand for Amway products? No, it's a lot of people wanting to either A, sell it to all their friends so they buy a ton of inventory, or B, they want to support their friend who thinks they're going to get rich with Amway so they buy a ton of products. I see most people leaving Amway unhappy, jilted. They feel like, and
I
by
don't
the way,
disagree.
with 10
and
boxes
by
of
the way,
vitamins
they're
in
I
the
don't
told-
disagree.
They
they're
can't
told
park
by
their
these
car in the
failures.
garage.
They're
But
told-
can I tell you why I don't disagree?
Sure. But this applies to you though too, Patrick.
No,
I
but
believe
I
it
don't. I don't disagree because years ago I used to think sales is for everybody. I was absolutely wrong. I had so many people that got involved in sales who hated it and they didn't belong in sales.
Mhm.
Years ago, like my dad and I had a debate one time where I said, "Dad, anybody can do this." He said, "Stop saying that." I said, "Why?" He says, "Not anybody can do this." I said, "Dad, anybody can do this." You know what he said to me one time? Because I had a friend of mine, we had a big falling out. He says, "Pat, you're up 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't see you till midnight. Your friend doesn't even get to the office till 11 o'clock and leaves at 4 o'clock. Not anybody can make. What are you talking about? Anybody can make it." And he was right that not anybody can make it from that standpoint. Now, let me give you the opposite on the Amway side. Let me give you the opposite on the Amway side. Let me give you the opposite on Amway side. I don't know if you guys are capitalists, socialists. I don't know where you are politically.
No,
don't know
I
if
love
you-
capitalism.
We're all
Okay.
into
That's why-
capitalism, baby.
We
Okay,
are all into capitalism. I was
Perfect.
born into it.
So is it fair to say that the individual has the choice to buy a product, not buy a product, say yes, say
But
no?
I think marketing's a big deal. I have a huge problem with predatory and deceptive marketing, something that
I-
promises people the
But I
dream
don't.
and
But
does not deliver it.
predatory is force. There's
No,
nothing
it's
that's
not. No.
Yes,
Wait. I want to address this real quick. Predatory is not forced marketing. There's no such thing as, there's hardly any like hold a gun, buy my product. Predatory marketing means you find people in desperate situations, maybe a single mother who feels trapped in the job,
I'm not
right?
for that.
Okay.
I'm not for that.
But I'm just telling you.
You know why I'm not for that? Let me
I'm
explain
telling you, the
selfishly.
main person who joins an MLM
Let
are
me
people in
explain to
desperate financial
why
situations.
I'm not for that. Let me explain to you selfishly why I'm not for that. You ready for this? You ready for? And this one's going to give you an aha moment here that I've never even made this argument in my life until you have to thank you for this. Here's why I'm not for that. You ready? I thank you in advance. Thank you so much for changing my life.
Go ahead.
You're a special guy. Let me tell you, John Stossel. Check this out. So in network marketing, traditional multi-level marketing, if I come to you, I sell you whatever, a water filter for $5,000 and I leave. If I come and sell you supplements, nutrition, if I sell you whatever and I leave, you have to keep the product. And I still keep my money. You ready for me? If I come to a desperate person and sell them a life insurance policy, you cancel it, I get charged back.
Wait. No. I'm not saying selling life insurance. I'm saying selling the dream of selling life insurance, selling your people.
No,
life insurance.
But what you're saying is predatory is somebody who is in a desperate situation.
Predatory marketing forces people to get involved in MLMs.
Absolutely not, because there's no benefit for it. In my industry, there's no benefit for it.
What are you talking about?
There is no benefit for it.
There's a huge mandate.
There is no benefit for it. There is no benefit. I'm telling you right now. No, because there is no benefit for it. Because, okay, let me tell you why there's no benefit for it. I'm going to tell you some stuff I've not said on video. I'm going to share with you all.
Okay. Go ahead.
Can I tell you this?
Yes.
This is a mistake. This is a mistake of a CEO, okay? That I'm going to tell you. I start PHP. I fly out to Chicago to meet with a CEO of North American life insurance company owned by Midland. Guy gives me a contract. I have no clue what I'm doing as an insurance CEO. Clueless. I have no idea what I'm doing at the time. You know what ends up taking place? We do business with them. My business was placing and staying on the books 40% of the time. Do you know what happened a year and a half ago? They dropped my contract. I lost the contract. Then I lost one. Within the first 18 months, I lost 2 contracts. It almost put me out of business, because nobody else wanted to do business with me. See, the difference between that and insurance, if I have bad quality business, people don't keep contracts with us. It's a lot of pressure to keep. So this is why at first, I'm guilty of this. I will say to you, just bring everybody in, all this. Yeah, but it's not for everybody. It's the desperate client. It's not for the desperate client, because those people that we used to sell to that couldn't afford, say, they canceled the policy. 1, it wasn't good for them. 2, was a waste of time for the agent. And 3, we made our numbers look bad, and we made the insurance company do phlebotomy work, EKG. That's a lot of money. They lose money, meaning whether you keep the insurance policy or not, the insurance company that spent money getting the blood work, getting the EKG, that's a lot of money for them. I wasted their money. So I had to understand that you cannot just go sell insurance to anybody. And we changed our philosophy.
You're not a Mickey Mouse operation.
Real quick.
Obviously, you're bigger than that.
Real quick.
Say that again.
I was saying
that I just said you're not a Mickey Mouse operation. I know you're bigger than
I'm
that.
not.
I know
I'm
you're
not.
selling like real insurance.
I'm not. But the part about when you say I have a Mickey Mouse operation, I was also not a good CEO. I had no clue what the hell. I was a sales guy. I was a sales guy. I've never been a CEO. Like I don't have an MBA, so I don't have the experience of running a company. And it almost cost me the company, because you can't do that in a regulated insurance industry with data of numbers. So yes, you're right, possibly an MLM. No, it's very different in life insurance.
I want to talk about this real quick.
Different.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is you're talking about the product. The product is insurance, right? And you're saying, no, we can't be predatory marketing because we're going to lose the business, and that almost cost me the company, okay?
Sure.
Thank you for that story. But what I am saying is that what I'm talking about is the predatory marketing is not necessarily in the product. It's in pitching the dream of the job. It's how people get involved. So when I say Amway's hurting people, I'm not talking about the people they bought the spray bottles.
Yeah, I get what you're
saying. I'm talking about the people who got involved with the company because they got sold the dream.
I got you.
And they thought it was legit. They joined, they lost money. So I'm saying with your company.
You're right. You're right. But watch this. You're right. Okay. You are right. Let me tell you why you're right. So we recruited desperate agents. Do you know what happened to us when we recruited desperate agents? Guess what desperate agents do?
Quit.
Anything and everything to make money. And in the insurance business, it's all an advance game. So what an advance game is, you can come in, write $50,000 of premium, I advance, you can walk away, I lose the money. Okay, and the insurance company, I'm an LOA. LOA is a license only, which means LOA is, I don't know how technically, okay, let me give this to you in 30 seconds. So say you write an insurance policy and I don't pay you, say AIG pays you. So you come right through my agency, but AIG pays you. So when it comes down to collecting the debt, guess who collects your debt from you? AIG collects the debt from you. But an LOA, they don't collect the debt. All the debt rolls through me, right? I don't know if this makes sense when you cancel the policy. So I get all the debt coming back to me. So you know what happens when you bring a rogue agent in and they write 30, 40, 50,000 points and they leave? I get the charge back. So guess what? Every single time, like right now, we've lost a few $1 million. We're sitting on debt because you can never collect the debt. It's very challenging to collect the debt because when they leave, you're just not going to collect it. Believe me, I've learned the hard way how to build a better business. Look, PwC is the biggest accounting firm in America with the most credibility. They're the largest ones. In the last 12 months, they've done 2 quality of earnings on us, 2 quality of earnings. And what quality of earnings is, you pay them $200,000 and they come in and for 8 weeks, they audit everything. Guess what they need to see? Everything. And then quality of earnings helps you have a valuation in the marketplace. Nobody has more access to our numbers than a PwC doing quality of earnings. They've done it twice in the last 2 years. So I understand what you're doing. I applaud you to do what you're doing. Well, my only suggestion to you is there's actually some people that are doing the right business. Look, if I ask you right now, when you watch me create content with Valuetainment, what kind of a person do you think I am and what kind of values and principles do you think we have? What do you think it is? Do you see somebody that's flaunting, hey, look at my car, look at my girls, look at the parties, look at this, look at that? If whatever way that attracts you to Valuetainment, if I put 6, 7 girls on this website I don't know about, because I don't think I've ever done that before, to put stuff like that to sell it that way. Point I'm trying to make to you is, if you like the content, like if you say, if you're not being a troll, if you're sincerely saying, Pat, we love the
Valuetainment content.
And then if you do, I just want you to know if you do those same values and principles that turn people on like you to like the channel, that's how I run my company.
But I have to tell you, I look at you and I see somebody who I don't think you know, or you have so much cognitive dissonance about it. And this is my true belief, because I believe Rich DeVos probably was a beautiful man, right? Like I believe that. I believe he probably was.
I just think the moral corruption was done by Rich DeVos, and now you guys can just write on it.
I think Rich DeVos, I think Rich DeVos at some point had to look past the loser rate of his company because he had every incentive to do so. And I think the game with MLM, and this is sort of my thought, the game with MLM has been played out. We've seen where it goes. We've seen the numbers and all the compensation plans, licensed or not, all look the same. They all, like, if there was some magical MLM where they were only recruiting high quality people and all those people were doing amazing, like I would be the first to know about it and applaud it. But when I go look at your compensation plan, I like your channel, I say, wait a second, this looks like these other things. And I want to talk about it because not that I want to tear you down, but I want to warn the people who are in my audience from, I'm very anti, I don't know if anti is the right word, but I think MLM's a bad business model to get involved with. I think it's a failure. And I think personally, it should be shut down because I think it has to be predicated on false advertising, because if people knew the truth, if people were told the truth up front, the amount of ability to recruit, you wouldn't have any recruits. So I look at you, I see a nice guy. You're a great talker. You're by far the best debater we've talked to. And you yourself are a very smart man.
Tight.
But I look at the business model and I wonder, how could this be?
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that, your disposition on it is what it is. But, the great thing about where we are, you have the right to think what you do. I used to be an atheist for a long time, and I was very condescending and sarcastic to all Christian people who thought a God existed. And I'm still a skeptical Christian, but I eventually understood what that process is to become who they become. I was very condescending about anybody who ever got married. What a waste of a decision. Why would you ever get married? What's the purpose of getting married?
Wow.
But I then understood the process I had to get through. For you, you're mixing MLM once again with the insurance industry, even after I explained to you the level of accountability we have that the other MLMs don't have. As far as MLM goes, MLM to me is like if you go type in New York Life MLM, does this mean this company that's been around since 1868 is a MLM? There's 900 reviews about them being an MLM. New York Life does a fantastic job protecting families, numbers of families on what they do on a daily basis. You're searching it right now to look at it yourself. You can go look at a lot of these companies that were coming up. God knows how many videos were made, or people like yourself in the 80s and 90s trashed Apple, calling them a cult. You know, Steve Jobs is a cult and he's doing this and he's doing that. You know, today we have the platform here because somebody was able to create businesses for us to take advantage of the technology and the software. It's a very big difference when you say that. But on the MLM word, the word MLM, it is a method of marketing. It is a philosophy of marketing. Some do direct marketing. Some get their leads through buying online leads. Some get their leads through many different ways. And some business models in sales specifically, if you go Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, Remax, Compass, PNC Company, Farmer State Farm, there's always a vice president model, a senior vice president model, a managing director, a marketing director, and if you're going to say that, you're going to have to go through every single one of them because they all pay in levels. It's the only way you're able to create.
No, it's not about paying. It's not about paying in levels. What we're talking about here is no one's accusing Apple of being an MLM. Nobody's accusing just random companies of being.
I didn't say Apple's an MLM.
Right.
I didn't say Apple's an MLM.
But what I'm saying
Apple's
is when you
criticism they got was a different criticism they got.
Right. But the criticism behind MLM, what I'm saying is it's the same. You're saying, well, you're conflating MLM with the life insurance industry. First of all, MLM's not an industry. As you said, it's just a style.
It's a philosophy of marketing.
But it's a provenly bad philosophy of marketing. You can look at the results.
I don't think I disagree and agree. Here's a point I was trying to make to you earlier, and I don't think you caught that. I think there's a part of you that's selective hearing. You can hear all you want to hear, and you can do the smiles and all that stuff. I actually appreciate trolls because I get entertained by them. Believe me, when you look like this and you got this and this, you're trolled your entire life.
I'm not trolling,
you're
but I'm not trolling. I'm sincerely debating.
Don't say I'm like some guy. You're
no.
guy,
Guys, please understand. I'm a 42-year-old man, pretty comfortable in my own skin. I make fun of myself before anybody else does.
That's so funny.
What I'm saying to you is the following.
Yeah.
When you allow anybody and everybody to get into a company, you're opening up the floodgates to attract the wrong kind of people. There is no filtering system. That's what I'm saying to you. So I get what you're saying. The reason why I never wanted to get into an unregulated industry is because I didn't want to be able to go through everybody. I needed a filter, and I can't go do background checks on everybody. I love securities industry because I went in and I got my thumbnail, fingerprint. I love the insurance because they said you have a misdemeanor felony. Why are you asking this question? I love that because it minimizes the types of people that sometimes get into these types of companies. And when they do, unfortunately, many rogue agents and many rogue distributors do make great companies look terrible. And New York Life got a lawsuit about 2 months ago, that they went through. That doesn't make the company a bad company. There's a lot of companies that go through things like this that we can't just throw them under the same category and say, here's what they are. We are a regulated industry.
If I can just make one point about that, the legal stuff is that.
Fellas, can I make one request? Can I make one request? I said an hour. I'm at an hour, but I'm willing to go 10 more minutes. The guys are at the house waiting. I got somebody in town, but I'm good with you for 10 more minutes. So whatever other question you guys are being fair. Whatever other question you got, I want to address it before we take off. But I have 9:08. If we can go 9:20 and wrap up, I don't want to say it. I want you to keep that number. Thank you.
I want everyone to put claps in chat for Patrick for coming on. You know what? I do have to say this. So many people do not back up what they say. They won't come on and debate. So I always say to everybody who comes on, whether or not I agree with them, I respect the fact you come on. You're willing to address these points. Now, I want to say you talked about what makes these companies look bad are these like rogue agents, right? But just so you're clear about my point, and maybe we're both selective hearing here because I think that's probably people just have biases, But my point is it's not rogue agents that make you look bad. And it's not rogue agents that make Amway look bad. It's Amway's own numbers, right? One thing, I love statistics. And you say you're a numbers guy, so I'm sure you can appreciate numbers, because what numbers allow us to do is cut through the crap,
Right.
cut through all the anecdote, all the, hey, it's like this. No.
Yeah.
Show me the numbers. I know what this industry is. I know what the business is. So when I look at both the life insurance agency industry, MLM, which you're drawing a distinction because you're saying, look, it's different, it's got regulation. And then I look at these other industries. I'm not looking at rogue agents. I'm looking at your numbers and I'm saying, wow, these look like the same thing. And so then I give you the same criticism that I give to all MLMs. And I firmly stand by that criticism of, you guys are, unfortunately, whether you realize it or want to admit to it or not, people are coming in with the expectation of making a lot of money, and they think they're going to make it fairly much easier.
But I addressed that question for you.
Actually,
I
sure.
addressed that question for you, and I'm going to address it to you and remind you, because you have a brilliant mind, and you can't say you don't remember when I said this, because you're a data guy. Okay, and us data guys have memories. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're so funny. You would have been great at our military base, you condescending troll and but let me
no trolls, guys. Don't troll back.
You're not only you're studly looking guy, but you're also a troll. Let me go to this. I gave you the number earlier. And again, I'll say it, but if you have another topic you want to hit up at the end, let's do it. But we've already addressed this. Here's what I said to you. I said, say we've had 23,000 licensed agents that we've had over the years. Okay. Say 13,000 are actively appointed with us, right? Out of the 13,000, I said, how many of them you think actively log on or come to the office for training? Let's say 10%. If the number, I don't know the number, but I'm going to say 5 to 10%. Let's even say it's, anyways, 5 to 10%. If it's 5%, 600 to 1,200 people log on every week when they come to the training. You have to understand the difference between by the way, the one criticism you didn't even get into, which I would encourage you to get into, is how hard people work at this in this industry. There are people that work extremely hard. So that hard working is not 40 hours a week or 60 hours a week. I'm talking like they work.
Well, I was saying that people do work for like 10, 15 years, and then they end up being like, oh, I made a McDonald's.
But they don't.
Like,
but there are a lot of people
like that. No?
I had a guy that was working for me years ago. He called me the other day because one of our old friends died. He was a phlebotomist. He passed away. He called me, him and I were speaking, and, we're having a conversation together. He says, I still don't forget that the day you sat me down and you told me this industry is not for you. I said, I said, you didn't like that too much. He says, no. I sat him down and I called his wife and I said, ma'am, I'm not going to say her name because she knows who she is. I say, you got to call your wife and tell her this is not for you because you're not working here. I can't tell her this is not working for you. We made the phone call together. I said, I am requesting for your husband to quit, because I don't think he's going to do this business and he's wasting time being away from you and your family. I think he needs to go back to being a plumber. He did, and he went back to it. This wasn't a business for them. If you see the way I interview, my level of curiosity, if you see the way I create content, you have to know that I'm not one that is uncomfortable telling people that something isn't for them. And there are many people that isn't for them, but it doesn't mean I sit there and tell them, hey, you shouldn't give it a shot. I have people that come up to me and they're still playing and they got 5 girlfriends and they want to get married. And I say, I don't know if marriage is for you. I want to give it a shot. Go right ahead. 5 years later, dude, it wasn't for me. Well, I kind of knew it wasn't for you, but what am I going to say? Why did you let the guy get married? You guys got the opportunity to make the choice. The same as goes in a business.
You're trying to be supportive.
Well, Patrick, we want to be super respectful of your time. So I'm going to start wrapping it up here because I think we've gotten to a lot of the substance of our disagreements. Obviously, we're big fans of Valuetainment. So I want to pass a question off to Amish because I feel like you've been more sidelined, Amish. Amish, hit him with anything you want, but keep it above the belt, though. We're trying to
it's fine. I think it's just the my biggest thing that I'm trying to get in is like the immorality of like, you agree with capitalism. We love capitalism, right? And we love your channel. And then we find out that you're in this business. 92% of guys are getting, like, fuck, it's fine. That's fine. That's another thing. Gosh. But then also people had to pay the government so much money to legalize this business. I mean, this I feel like is a big contradiction.
Insurance? Wait,
legalize MLMs, not insurance. Insurance is actually shady for other reasons. I don't want to talk about that. But MLMs, Amway had to pave the way for you. No?
Let me ask you a question. Here's a question for you. I'm going to ask you a question. Are you like trying? Is your goal like watch me get under his skin? Because it's tough to do.
It's not like that. No.
If that's your victory and that's the direction you want to go for your audience to be happy,
like
I'll play along with you. If you want to kind of say comments like that to see if I'm going to be bothered.
No. I hope I'm not being rude.
You have to know that I come from a school of the most ridiculously condescending trolls, sarcastic mofos that would do laps around both of you guys.
We're not condescending.
I'm asking you a real question.
We're not condescending.
Amish,
did I not tell you to keep it above the belt?
I did. I'm asking about his business. I'm asking, like, what is, like, if these guys have to pay the government to make this legal, what's the morality? Where's the love of capitalism? Isn't there a corruption of capitalism here?
Oh my gosh. Look,
you don't think so? I mean, when they paid off the government and said, hey, because you hate people paying off the government. When the DeVos parents had to pay off and be like, hey, let us run this shady.
Why don't you bring them on? I don't know the detail. I'm telling you to go bring them on, but you're speculating.
Comes from, like, it operates on a
you realize how unfair of and uneducated of a comment that is for
Come on, your own sales guy said this.
But
your own sales guy said, hey,
but my own
someone said, get out of the no potions and lotions, no money in that. Come over to insurance. Sorry, not you. They said that WFG. And then he even said that Patrick Bet-David was going to go into that.
You know how insulting that is. Let me kind of tell you. And by the way, I'm not insulted by it, but let me tell you how insulting that is. The comment you just made. You know what that's like saying? That's like saying I'm Middle Eastern and my lineage comes from. It's very insulting to say something like that. No,
it's Amway. Oh, come on! You're offended now for this?
I'm not offended by that. What I'm saying to you is, judge companies by that company. Don't go sit there and say what this person does and what that person does. Judge it by that company. Don't judge it by saying you come like you want to make a comment to bother me. You're not going to bother me because I have a lot of respect. I'm not trying to bother you. I have a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect for a lot of the people in Amway that do it the right way.
Okay.
I have a lot of people that do it the right way, and I applaud them. I don't know the rest. I'm not here an investigator to try to find out what percentage do bad or good. Look, all the people that are doing it right, I salute them. The ones that are not doing it right, by the way, here's the reality of it. Those who don't do it right, long-term, they don't make it in this business. And I'm being sincere, they don't make it in this game.
No, but I'm talking about a fundamental moral question about the business model itself, the sales model that you kind of describe in your video called How do MLMs Work? That fundamental business model.
Which part of it, though?
The part that, you know, the DeVos family had to pay the government to legalize it so that now
Are you talking about like where most people don't make money and like it's like about all recruiting? It's all about recruiting?
Yes, this is the thing I'm talking about where you take a pyramid scheme.
He's been talking about it for 45 minutes and you're going to ask the same question.
I'm not asking the same. It's a different question. I'm talking about regulation. I'm talking about what is the morality of it and what is the value being provided to our society. That's what I'm asking. I mean,
I don't know what I do believe in as a person who's an independent politically, and I've been both a Republican and a Democrat. I don't judge people by the choices they make. I don't judge you by, you know, if you choose to do YouTube by making dog videos and that's how you make your money, great. If you make, like, even you guys, some people call me and they tell me these are bad guys. Matter of fact, I was interviewed. You know what? I was interviewed by
Concrete.
I know. I've seen Concrete. And he asked me about you guys, and he said, "What do you think about them?" I don't even know if the video ever went live with Concrete, by the way. I don't know.
It did. And you were very complimentary. You said it's like a cop.
Yeah.
Like they're just
I said you guys are very necessary. I said you guys are very necessary because I think you are necessary. The only request I have of you is generalizing hurts a lot of people that are trying to do the right thing. I've been guilty of that before. When you do generalize, you kind of take shots at people that actually do their best to do this business professionally. Like, you know, on YouTube, people will say all these YouTubers and all this other stuff. Very hard to make it on YouTube because you have to constantly come up with new content and it's so much pressure. And I remember one time we shut down the channel for 3 months because it's just not easy. It's like your brain is like, oh my gosh, I have a family, I have kids, I'm running a company, I have this, and I have to come up with new content. It's not easy. So those who make it, I applaud them. So you can't generalize and say everybody does the wrong way. There are people that do YouTube in a very deceptive way. Mm-hmm. You know it. Mm-hmm. By the way, the one thing I want you guys to know on, you know, a question that very rarely is asked, why doesn't Pat talk about PHP on Valuetainment? And why doesn't Pat talk about this? And why doesn't Pat
I think that's classy.
Address that. It's very classy.
I think it's very classified.
Oh, no, I don't know if you know the answer to it. I don't know if you know the answer.
No.
Okay, so the reason why we don't do that is the following. I don't send text, hey guys, go watch my video and subscribe to the channel. Ask any of my guys if they'll tell you, Pat says, go watch the videos. I don't have them watch the videos, okay? And on the valuetainment side, I don't say, I bet if I were to make videos and make an ad and say, hey, go do, what do you call it, buy insurance and come, I bet I would probably make more money if I did that. But I separated those two audiences. I have a conference this week that's coming up. People are flying in. It's a sales conference I'm holding in Breakers. And when they come, the biggest compliment they give me is they say, what we respect about you? Well, obviously we've read and we've heard things other people say about you. You've never tried to sell us any of your product. You've never imposed a company on us, ever. It's not my style. I separate those two and people get to choose. I don't need to involve the two. Never once have I asked PHP guys to buy a product from Valuetainment, and never once have I asked Valuetainment people to buy a product from PHP, because I respect both audiences.
That's great.
If you value that, I value both audiences, and I separate them. I could probably make more money, take another route. I just refuse to do so. And FYI, here's the other part that I'm struggling with. Let me tell you what else I'm struggling with. So right now we have courses online, okay? I may be the worst online course salesman in the world, okay? I'm probably the worst online course salesman in the world. I have no clue how to do it. I have no idea how to do it. They asked to do an event together. I like doing events together because I like talking to entrepreneurs. But we even have some courses online. I don't know how to sell them. I don't have an ad on how to buy courses and all this other stuff. We brought a guy in here to try to help us to sell this. That's not our area of business because that's not how I make my money.
I wanted to buy it myself.
I sincerely enjoy creating content because of the interaction I have with the entrepreneurs. And in reality, the teacher's learning the most. So having said that, fellas, I appreciate you for having me on. Thank you so much.
Hey, you've been very classy and you kept it very respectful.
Yeah.
Mish, you went a little below, but hopefully we're all able to laugh it off later. Hope you guys enjoyed debating Patrick Bet David. Was it everything that was promised, guys? What do you think? Let them know. Hey, thank you for coming on the channel. Not a lot of people would do it. People say, Coffeezilla, no way. But you came on, and thank you for doing that.
Thanks.
Great debater.
Thanks for having me on, fellas. Appreciate you.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Boom, that's it. All right. We're taking you off, Pat. We're going to continue. We got a podcast after this.
Okay. I just want to stay on until you tell me to get off, and then I'll get off.
You're good. You killed it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Yep.
Wow,
dude.
Now
I am dying to know what the people think. No, dude, he's so respectful, dude. I gotta say that.
Such a nice guy.
So respectful.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't hit that point. We didn't hit the point of like, hey, these Amway guys had to pay off the government. It did get lost. You know what I mean? He kind of turned it into like, oh, that's your attack on me? It's like, guy, I'm not attacking. That's just my question was like, why
did you feel
these guys
like
have to pay?
He took offense to your thing?
I don't think so. I think he was just like, if you think that's going to get under my skin, I wasn't even trying to be disrespectful. I was actually, my real question was, if it's such a great business, like, why did these guys have to pay off the government? Also, he does hate, like, he loves capitalism and he hates that. You know, like I've heard him say that on his videos, that he hates big businesses paying off government.
Here's what I'll say that's interesting about Patrick Bet David.
Yeah.
And this is something that I struggle with, Amish. Maybe you could help me. Maybe you guys could help me at home.
Yeah.
I've actually heard the same thing about Richard DeVos, where it's like, people are like, man, he's such a nice guy. Yeah, and I would say the same thing about Patrick Bet David. What, dude?
Because he got the bag, baby.
What, dude? That guy knows. Hey, he talks, man. He can spin it. He weaves that story, bro. That's I realized. I felt like I was in a valuetainment session. I was like,
yeah. He whips up the stories good, man.
But
because it's hard to stay like on a point. I see what you were doing. Like sometimes he was just like,
I was trying to get back to it, but here's the here's the thing. Look, I think the numbers speak for themselves, and we won't talk forever on this because I don't want to talk beyond like too much about Patrick. But while he's not here, but we'll keep it respectful.
I do want to do a quick analysis on that though. But go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. So what I was going to say is, very nice guy. But very smooth talker. That's what the biggest thing I'll say about it. Smooth talker. But I think he's overlooking the data, and I think he's cherry picking things to fit his worldview. I'm sure he would say the same thing about me. What'd you think of that debate, guys? What'd you think?
Okay,
were you frustrated?
So the thing that you guys got caught up on with the income report, I think you guys are both basically talking past each other because he's basically saying, yeah, so what? And you're saying, no, that's immoral. And he's saying, no, it's not. That's fucking life, dude. A bunch of real estate agents, they don't sell a real estate in fucking 2 years. So they only made not negative money. Yeah. I mean, he was making his point. Now, the thing that hides in there, I was trying to bring this up, but the thing that hides in those numbers is, okay, fine. Let's take those people out. If we did take those people out, the numbers still would be 90% of people losing money.
Right. That was the thing. It was like PHP is not an MLM. It's like, but you look at the numbers, it is an MLM. It's the same. So that's the thing. I think all the criticisms you can apply of MLM, you can apply to PHP. I will stay by that.
Drew. So Drew did say.
What are people saying, dude?
Did message us.
Thank you guys for all showing up, dude. Huge stream right now.
A huge dude. And Drew was telling me like catch him on the FMO thing because remember he said do you know the difference between FMO and MLM? And I do feel like that was a bit of a wild goose chase. Like morally, I know he's gonna find some little loophole and be like, no, we're not an MLM. It's like, guy, have the debate. We're talking about is this a moral structure?
He had the debate.
And he has he has ways of being like, I'm not an MLM, I'm FMO.
Yeah. Great.
You know?
But hey, listen.
It was good.
I feel like I could have a beer with Patrick.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just so disagree so strongly with what he does. And I'm like,
know.
what are you doing? Look at
pisses
what
you off a lot.
valuetainment is.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it, guys.
So, hey, by the way, I'm doing a show on Sunday, called Lovers and Laughs. Let's clear the palate. I got a show on Sunday, guys. Comedy show, April 25th, 9 p.m.
He
Lovers
needs you,
and Laughs
dude. He needs you.
on Zoom. Come check out the show. It's gonna be great. It's in my it's on my Instagram at Fade to Brown. But
what are the people saying, dude? I'm dying to see what the people are saying, boys.
Yeah, what are people saying? What do people think? Who do people were throwing money? Like Drew sent me a picture of like just a bunch of money being thrown at us.
Dude, we got to read some of these super chats. We're so sorry if we haven't gotten to some of these.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, Diligent Dabber,
let me get my
$5.
karmic glasses.
Get your Darren Neverez, $2. He was dodging and redirecting the whole time. What do you think? Run up the likes, chats, boys. Let's go. Guys, we're reading all your super chats. We're trying to read all of them. They're going really fast right now. Zilla would have to pay for the beers. Debating salesman. No, dude. Okay, I'll say, and Patrick had said this. He goes, I'm a salesman, and you can tell, dude. He is like, he's a sales guy. That's what he's really good.
Even his openers were something. Dude, remember how he had 3 people come in first? Power move. But it's a legit power move because you know he's so busy that dude, literally 3 people came on first. One guy came, he's like, okay, guys, I'm here, whatever. And we thought it was
explain to the people what that is. Explain to the people what that is.
Just before we went live, like his organization is so big, it's so tight that basically 3 people came on before him. Like Mario.
Somebody answered the thing, and we were expecting Patrick Bet-David because there's like Valuetainment Studios or whatever. And it's a guy, and then that guy hands it off to another guy. And this whole time we've been waiting like for Patrick Bet-David, the guy. So Misha's just saying what a power move, and that's true. Yeah. Ralph Retro, at some point, $25. Thank you, man. You have to brainwash or condition yourself to believe what you are doing is for the good. You both do that amazingly. Wow. Okay. Well, we're all brainwashing ourselves.
Yeah, we didn't. We really didn't let him off the hook. But sorry, you're going through super chats.
Yeah, man.
Let's go, baby.
And if you see a great comment, dude, just read it out. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to talk to the people and unload.
Nah, man, money only.
We got a whole show after this, guys, so stick around.
If they don't pay, fuck them. Yo, we have the Filipina Coffeezilla. She's been watching this whole thing, by the way. Did you get Yabukern music?
No, go ahead.
YBKRN music, $5. Manipulators mix lies with truth together to fool people. Okay, I don't know if you're talking about us or him, but hey, appreciate the comment, Habibi. Ralph Retro, $25. At some point, to be successful, you have to brainwash or condition yourself to believe that what you are doing is good. You both do that amazingly. Love seeing both.
Oh, we already read that one, dude.
You already read that
Wealth
one.
Engineering, overall, PBD 1. Coffeezilla, you were good at sticking to the point. Amish, I think you helped PBD 1 win the debate. Amish.
I mean...
Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, guy, Wealth Engineering, it's a fucking MLM. You can't trust this fuck.
Oh, you're saying he's
this
biased.
guy's gonna this guy goes, he's looking for any Wealth Engineering? Hey, Wealth Engineering, get out of the chat.
Dude, no, dude.
No, it's true. No, Steven, you screwed me. I was trying to make a point about these guys paying off the government to make their MLMs legal. And then this is in the middle. And then you're like, no, Misha, it wasn't $1 billion. It's like, guy, you know my numbers are all over the place.
I know your heart. You have a beautiful heart, and I know you're going with that. But
my
wait,
numbers are all over the place.
I know
the point was,
PBD. I could tell by that point PBD's debate style. and he will hammer you on that. So I was trying to get us out of deep waters because, well, he's going to say, well, wait a second. Let me tell you a 10-minute long thing about why Amway doesn't say pay $1 billion a year. And it's like, well, yeah, we know that. So I was trying to get back to the point. It wasn't, like you said, I know your heart. I don't think Patrick Bet-David know what you were.
I don't think he knew. And look, I could like. It's obviously not $1 billion. Like I don't know what the numbers are, but someone had to pay the government a lot of money. The DeVos people had to pay the government a lot of money.
I wish I had said. Well, we ran out of time. Literally, I could have debated Patrick Bet-David for probably 2 hours. One thing he said, he goes, "Hey, look, it's unfair to generalize. You can't generalize, and to some extent, that's true. But watch this. Our main criticism the whole time was not that valuetainment is something different. What we were saying is that if you look at the realities and the statistics they give out, they are the same. So we're not generalizing from nothing. We're saying, look at all the MLMs. Their numbers individually are the same collectively. So I felt like that point was lost, but
you think
I don't know.
He doesn't know yet?
We were talking over each other a little bit. Do I think he doesn't know
yet, though?
I think that the human mind is very powerful. And I think Patrick Bet-David, I said during the show, I think he has talked himself into this, which I'm sure I've talked myself into things too, but I just think this thing in particular, I don't like it, man. Metal Source Studios. This debate was amazing. Greatest. Long live Patrick. Live long coffee. Thanks, man. Specs and specs. Keep pumping the Zilla stock, lads. Thank you, guys. Why don't you read Tino real quick?
Hold on, Tino.
Take off your glasses and watch the thing. Watch the actual. You're trying to watch this.
What do you got? Buddy, you know I'm doing my karmic glasses. Guys, come on. Smash the like. Let's get to 1,000. Tino, what's up, baby? Thank you.
One more. Note.
What's up? Over
Take off the glasses, Amish. You try to be
Storyman the scammer. Hashtag Storyman the scammer. Aman Assad. Knock 20. What's knock, dude?
Do y'all think we were trolling? I wasn't trying to troll. He kept calling us trolls. Listen, here's how I honestly felt about it. Why I kept like looking at the camera was I kept wanting to talk, but like the stories just go on a long time.
But that's sales, dude. He can't help it.
Well, I know, but so I just like kept being like, every time I looked at the camera, that was like me trying to say like, I have something to say here, but I didn't want to be rude. Right. Amish, baby, we love you. Joe Cole, $5, but you got to step up your debate skills a little bit. Got over talked a lot, but the last question that got under his skin was beautiful. Wow.
I mean, look, you got to understand. Like we got to make sure our guest talks. I got to make sure you talk.
Yes.
It was like I feel like the income report. It was like I feel like we could. Yeah, I wanted to get into the capitalism shit. It's
you know what that comment was though? That was a pickup guy move because that's the neg. They neg you first. They say you're bad at debating, and they compliment you. That's beautiful. Charles McCarthy.
Man, it's a 3-way debate.
$5. True. You can't exaggerate numbers. This is an easy way to lose a debate. Dudes who look at data will rip you apart. $5. Juan Alba. Thanks, Coffee, for the great debate. You totally won against Storytainment. Keep pumping Zilla. So I'm seeing a little bit of both. This guy's grasping for a come up. PBD won. PBD is legit. PBD Army. $5. Wow.
AG. Yeah.
We'll read it.
You know, it's too bad that his sales rep took that video down because he makes the points the best, but he makes it all about WFG. Like everything that you were saying, everything that I was saying, his sales rep says, if you're at WFG, you're in a company that's a scam, you're in this, you're in that, whatever.
But Patrick's just going to respond, hey, I respect my competition. What are you going to say to that?
That's what he said. Yeah, that's what he said in our debate too. But it's like, yeah, you respect the competition. But at the end of the day, someone had to pay, like Amway had to pay off the government. And even that guy even said that in his sales thing, where he's like, Amway paid him off. Now we can operate. He basically does this whole story about how someone went to the owner of WFG and said, hey, the money's not in potions and lotions. The money's in the insurance. So then the guy goes over to insurance and then this guy got it from there. So it's
you know how I feel it.
This is the ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? Storytelling.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
I'm going to
how I feel is that these people, they like this. Yeah, this guy says storytainment. And I thought, this is what I believe about a lot of the people we talk about on our show. You can learn a lot by watching what they do. So what is Patrick great at? He is a legendary storyteller. It's what made Valuetainment explode. When you watch his entrepreneurship videos, you're watching like stories. It's all about, his come up, all that stuff. So what you guys can take away, if you're wondering, what can I learn from Patrick Bet-David? If you can tell a killer story, that makes you a great salesman. I don't care.
Yeah.
That just does. I mean, it just makes you a great salesman, and that's what he is amazing at. He's an amazing sales guy.
He was really good at taking, like, I saw that a couple of times where, like, you're trying to make a point, and then he goes, well, let me tell you the story, and that'll explain your point.
Best debate, though, by far, though, don't you think? Like, I've always talked to these guys, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Patrick and David, we were battling back and forth the whole time. I think the data is just on my side. I don't think I'm a great debater. I think the data is just on my side.
He had a point, though. That's the other thing, too, dude. I thought he had a point where he's like, hey, the real estate agents, they're right. Independent sales, so we're that for insurance.
But
so he's kind of got a point.
You got to take it away from real estate and bring it back to, okay, so in industries that are not like that, how do MLMs perform? Because if what he's saying is true, in a totally different industry with totally different sales, you should see something different. No, every single MLM is the same.
Yeah,
that's what I think. Yibberkern Music, Coffeezilla sees right through BS on another level. Nate Smithson, MLM is a scam when your revenue comes primarily from distributors. Look at all commission-only sales, and you'll see the same success distribution. AG 499. Pat became nothing but to build what he has But to build what he has is the true American dream. Coffee, you have better people to chase than PBD, should be an ally. We like PBD. Valuetainment's tight. I don't like the MLM. I don't know what you want me to say. You cannot force me just because I think that valuetainment's a good thing that I have to like this other thing he does. Right?
Save your money, dude. He's like just giving us money just so that we read these like, PBD is great, and how dare you speak on PBD like this? My Babaji is the greatest. Who are you? Like, guy, chill, man. That's what makes him such an evil. Like, he's almost like the Joker. You know what I'm saying? Like in this Coffeezilla universe. In the Coffeezilla universe, he's of the bad guys. He's the most righteous. He believes in his cause, and he holds it down, man. And he's helping people. He's made this great channel. So this is not a one-time debate. What it done. It is tough. We got through like one debate point. You know what I mean? What it happened? Like, it's, he's the best. He is the tightest of them all. But at the end of the day, yeah, it is like a pyramid scheme, dude. I mean, it's a pyramid scheme. It's just like a thinly veiled pyramid scheme, right? Are we crazy? AG, what?
PHP? PHP?
Yeah,
I think PHP as an MLM is probably doing more harm than good, is what I would say. But that's my
issue, dude. It's like, you're capitalist, you love capitalism. But this is corrupting it, no?
Yeah, let's talk about the debate, though. Let's not make any more.
Yeah, true. He's not here now, so it's like we should wait for him to come back before we say any shit about
it. Hey, you were getting under his skin at the end. A little bit.
What's that?
You were getting under his skin a little bit at the end.
Was I? I feel like you set it up like I was going to do some big rip on him, and then he was like, that's your rip, dude? I don't give a shit. But
he was like that a little bit, but I felt like underneath.
This is something that he doesn't really like. You can't get into it because now we're talking about the deeper philosophy. We're talking about what is the meaning of life now. It's that's the level that I don't know if he can debate on. I mean, I've seen him do a lot of these capitalist versus communist debates, and they're very surface level. I've showed you some of his debate arguments. I'm like, guy, it's not. He has basically a lot of people who are really good at business, dude. They're not like philosophical too much. Their philosophy is basic, but their execution is tight.
Well, the part that I just think is like, I know deep down PBD's a numbers guy, right? But when you talk to him, he's a story guy. And I was trying to reach the numbers guy and argue the numbers guy because I think my numbers beat his numbers. But
he had a point.
And I felt like that was where we talked past each other. It was a lot of like, this and this. Lance Anthony, Brian Rose is to urine what Steven is to electric shock therapy. Okay. Thank you. $5 from GTRTRTR. Patrick Bet David. Okay, we're not going to read that. $1. Thank you. Not trying to nag, but I want to see more from Amish. Wow.
Hey, man. Look, dude, I don't want to talk over you guys. I feel like I did great. I feel happy with myself. I mean, I don't want to talk over you. You did great.
Listen, I wouldn't have brought you on. I wouldn't have brought you on if I didn't think you would benefit.
I was surprised that you did want me on. I even told Mario, like, hey, Steven has 350,000 and we have like, 17,000. And dude, he brings up like, how many subscribers do you have? I told Mario too. I was like, maybe you want to do that one, whatever. But hey, man, if there's three people,
I said it's like, the drip. We always rip and dip on Thursday nights. We can't do it because the whole thing was they didn't have much time to do it. So I said, look, if we have to do it in a week, we have to do it on the drip. Jose, $5.
fair
My
enough.
question is, if every industry lobbies to Congress, how is it any different? I still hate MLMs though. Okay, so I do want to draw out this lobbies to Congress. Do you think lobbying to Congress, and I'll play Patrick's defense here, because I still think he's wrong, but I think this part was not great. Do you think lobbying to Congress makes you a scam?
Yes, because if you truly love capitalism, and the one thing that Patrick Bet-David never says about capitalism is that you do need to deliver value. So if you're basically just gaming the system and paying off the government and hiring lawyers to be like, hey, just figure out a loophole and make it legal so that I can scam a bunch of people into my pyramid scheme, I think we do need to talk about that morality. And I don't know if that's a level that he talks on, because I think he only talks on the level of like, hey, I make money. My bank account's full.
So I disagree that, like, I think there are a lot of good reasons to lobby. I think you have to be really specific or what kind of lobbying is bad. Walmart, I was looking this up, lobbied $99 million in the last decade or so. You have Louis Rossmann, great YouTube channel. He's about to lobby for right to repair. I believe in that. Like, so there are legitimate reasons, and I'm not saying Walmart and Louis Rossmann are the same. My point is that's an example of a kind of normal corporation, like lobbying really heavily. And that's also an example of like a regular guy lobbying to do something really good. My point is that that doesn't make you bad. What you have to look at with MLM is what they're lobbying for. And what they're lobbying for is to avoid this distinction, which seems really slippery, which is the actual definition of an MLM versus a pyramid scheme. What's the difference? That's so yeah, there are bad ways to lobby.
When it's immoral, like it's corruption. I mean, let's call it what it is. We have names in America like regulatory capture, lobbying. A lot of lobbying is good. And but the thing is, Stephen, a lot of the good lobbying is in response to the corporations pay billions on their lobbying. So then, yes, these human rights groups and like real groups do get together and say, okay, well, I guess we got to lobby or we're going to lose everything to this company or whatever. But the majority of money for lobbying now is like corporations, and the Supreme Court even passed a law saying like money is free speech. I don't know if that's like for the that's actually a different issue, but the lobbying itself, I feel like has become pretty corrupt.
Right. But not all lobbying is corrupt. There is corrupt lobbying. And so I think you have to connect the chain. It's because you were saying so then because MLM has lobbied, they are corrupt. I don't think that's true. I think part of their corruption is the lobbying, but that is a totally different thing. And it's why they're lobbying. Anton Pax, $10. I think this is one of your most focused debates yet. I think you did a great job. I wish you had taken apart his real estate argument, though. He kept going back to it. What I would say there is what I would say to all, like a lot of these things is my big bone to pick with these guys is the marketing, right? And I don't think he addressed this enough, which is he does make it sound like in his own compensation plan video that it's easy, that it's right across the door. Like that it's
I know. It's like he doesn't see it like that.
And then it just looks like an MLM when you get into the numbers. So that's what I would say is the difference. Nobody goes into real estate thinking it's easy. Oh, it's just going to replace my income next week. John Erickson, I've been pumping the stock pretty hard, but I don't know if my body can do it more than 3 times a day. Hey, there are kids here. Go Wings. Agree with Amish. Joker is a likable villain. Okay.
Meaning like he's the top guy. Like it's not going to be so simple to take him out, like to defeat him in a debate even. Like he's sharp, man. He's on top of his points. Really smart.
He believes in it.
But he does believe in it. That's the issue. He truly does believe in it. But at the end of the day, I do feel like it is corrupting capitalism. And like, look, okay, fine. Let's just say we think that lobbying is okay. But you can agree that Amway lobbying, what's that about? Is that okay? I mean, there was a bunch of people in the government that said, hey, this is illegal. They had to fight with them. And I don't know if they're spending billions a year. Maybe I should have said billions a year. But at the time, they spent a lot of money.
Millions.
And overwhelmed these government people.
Well, and they were like the number one contributor to like George Bush's campaign. They were also one of the number one contributors to Clinton. So it's not a political thing. They've just bought our politicians. You look at Amway, when Rich DeVos died, George Bush went and spoke at his funeral. He was like one of the lead speakers. So they were tight. Yeah. And then when Amway was first about, like when there was big crackdown on MLM regulation, what happened? Well, they were supposed to get shut down, all these guys, but one company, they got in tight with the politicians, and that was the one company that wasn't shut down early on in the MLM life cycle. So early on, MLM had the precedent of we have to buy our way out of these situations. And I think that's your point. And I think that point is true.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only reason Rossman has to lobby is because corps are lobbying themselves against right to repair. Without lobbying, right to repair would be here already. But that's sort of, that's what we're getting at is there's good lobbying, there's bad lobbying.
Yeah. And lobbying is very close to corruption, in my opinion.
Amish, I want you to tear apart this disrespect that we're getting in chat right now.
We are
Eric Elmore.
We need to bring on, just raise it up. I know it says Amish stop talking or whatever. It says Amish just stop talking.
Get out.
Hey, baby, leave then. I mean, it's not going to stop.
Eric. Show some respect.
Eric, no, you can say whatever you want. Hey, keep throwing $5 and keep saying shit like that. That's great. But dude, we have the Filipina Coffeezilla. She's ready to come on. She's watched the whole thing. She's very excited. Dude, her dad was in 9 MLMs through his lifestyle.
Oh, that's a beautiful turnaround. Is like, so we go from the PBD CEO, and then we have what's her channel? What's her channel?
She's gonna come in and rip. I think it's called. She has I actually gave her a hard time because she has a channel like a name like Wealth Engineering. It's something like
investing or something.
Investing lifestyle.
Yeah. Wealth Engineering. He's masterful at it's this guy. He's masterful at escaping the marketing, which is why he won. He used your laugh against you to make you look disingenuous and was polite, respectful. Look, I'll agree with the fact that he's very polite, very respectful.
Tight.
He's a true pro, for sure.
He's a pro.
We're dealing with pros here. Although, I don't know if my laugh made, I feel like that's just on brand for us to laugh. I mean, that's just the show.
Yeah, we kept it pretty chill, man. And I mean, we got him to talk about things that he said himself that he normally wouldn't talk about.
I've never confessed this before. Twice.
Yeah, I know.
That's how I knew.
I know. And he said that you're like a John Stossel, dude. That's a huge compliment. That's big, man. I love John Stossel. From back in the day, he's tight.
Stassi, dude.
He's still pretty.
Hey, look at the communist in Amish is rising up. He goes,
what do you mean Stossel's tight?
No, I know, but I knew you were going to say something negative. What do you think of his current stuff, Amish?
I'm saying Stossel's tight.
Okay.
I didn't know that he had a lefty past. I didn't know he had a lefty past. Now, right now, he's libertarian, and I think there's crazy libertarian ideas that he supports, but when you hear Stossel go through it, he's always got a point. She's asking what's the meeting ID. What? How come she can't get on?
Yo, dude, did you not send it to her? Send her the link, baby.
I sent her the link. She's saying, what's the meeting ID? Huh. Here, let me send it to her.
Yo, let's talk about John Stossel. Do y'all think there's any similarity?
Between who? Between you and him? Yeah, dude. That's great.
Do you think that was... What y'all think Patrick Bet-David's best point was? I'm curious.
I mean, I thought his best point was that, like, hey, man, insurance agents, dude. Like, I thought that was a good point, dude. I thought he held it down on that. Like, I mean, his whole... Dude, that's the point my sisters make. Meaning, like, I don't agree with it, but it's a good point, and I know a lot of people who would just be like, yeah, what's the problem, dude? I mean, it's legal. It's kind of like the point of like, hey, I'm not breaking any laws. Did I break a law? Sue me. That's basically kind of it, no?
I see. It is a lot like that. Riley Mulligan, he got so close to admitting he was selling a dream at one point. He literally said, that's what it's about, selling the dream.
Yeah, I know.
Then he deflected when you pressed him on it. Lots of love for Amish. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Dude, we got such a good audience here, man.
We have such a
Austin
great audience.
Price, Steven, you look hot with your bangs down. I'll put it right back up.
Get it.
Because I'm a married man.
Dude, married.
None of that. Hey, you stop that. You can talk as much as you want about how hot Amish is, but not me.
Yeah, what's the point? He's already married, and it's not going to help anything. Here, let me put on my karmic
Timbox, Nick Hatchmer, remember the time John Stossel got smacked by pro wrestler David Schultz? I got respect for him for confronting an angry wrestler, then getting smacked for real. Can we pull that up? That's so funny. Read these other chats while I pull this up.
Sam here, $4.99. Corporations are not citizens and should not be able to use money, aka speech, to grease up politicians. Hey, that's what I mean by lobbying is a little bit corruption. No, I mean, just take it out for everyone. There's a lot of people working on that. I think it makes sense. I'm an Assad, knock $9. Thanks, baby. And there's a sunglass. He's wearing sunglasses. Just like I'm wearing my karmic glasses. Root base, Canadian 2. Dogecoin greater than PBD MLM. Hey! Don't say Dogecoin better than PBD MLM. If you're gonna join a scam, go PBD. That's what I'm saying. God damn it, that was a great interview he did. If you're going into an MLM, if you're gonna go into one, do the PHP. I'm saying. That's just me. I'm not trying to be rude, but if you're gonna do one, this guy was the best so far. Did you already do Nick Ketchner? $10?
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah. So we're gonna catch that right now.
Yo, let's catch this Stossel thing real quick.
I love these glasses.
I gotta say, like, look, you gotta pay Patrick his respect. He definitely held it down the most. For everything we're gonna say, he held it down the most. And a lot of these other gurus, they have nothing we like. We like Patrick's valuetainment. We have a problem with the MLM, and I can't do anything about that.
Valuetainment provides real value, I think.
They got tight shows. Dude,
it's time. Let's see.
We're going to have to...
This is Stossel's down point. Why did he do this?
What? Stossel's a beautiful man.
Independent of whether wrestling is a monopoly, of the fact that the matches are fixed, of whether wrestlers are blackballed.
Wow, Stossel. Dude, that does sound like something I would say. I'd be like, MLMs are a scam. Like, right at the top, he rips them. Right. Look at the way he introduces this.
Independent of whether wrestling is a monopoly.
He goes, pay no mind to the fact they're a scam monopoly.
Of the fact that the matches are fixed.
Fixed.
Of whether wrestlers are blackballed. What do these shows do to the people who participate in them and who watch them? It is a great show, but does it encourage violence? Some psychologists told us they think it does.
Stossel.
And the fans frequently get violent. Sometimes the police have to throw them out.
Stossel, this is fine. Now, where does he get slapped? Where's the moment he gets slapped?
Oh, that's it. I think you scrolled over it because it's that guy too. It's that wrestler. I've seen this before. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, this guy. Ah!
Who's just told us how every match is.
What's that sound I just made?
Ah! Ah! I can't wait.
I hope you guys enjoy the trip, dude. Did I not? Are you not entertained? I gave the most cryptic tweet because we didn't know if Pat was going to make it. But I tried to tell you guys it was going to be a great show tonight. Are you not entertained? Let's go.
That's funny. They said no.
I asked Schultz questions that I assume all wrestlers have been asked dozens of times.
What? Is this a good business? Yeah, it's a good business. I wouldn't be in it if it wasn't.
Why is it a good business?
Because only the tough survive. That's the reason you ain't in it. And this punk holding the camera reading he ain't in it. Reading these rednecks out here ain't in it because it's a tough business.
That's terrific.
What, is that all you got?
I'll ask you the standard question. You know,
standard question.
I think this is fake.
You think it's fake?
Oh.
What's that? Is that fake? Huh? What the hell's wrong with you? That's open hand slap, huh? You think it's fake?
Stossel talks shit though, dude.
Yo, dude, he got...
Stossel talks mad shit. That's the thing.
Yo, but like, here's the funny thing. Stossel's right though. But here's the thing. Yeah. This is why you don't go up to a pro wrestler. This, I gotta say, you don't go...
Yeah, but look at what's his name. What about that Louis? Remember that Louis Theroux guy?
That's so funny.
Dude, I'm like, dude, he's gonna die in one of these fucking documentaries.
Dude, the Theroux thing, he had the same thing happen to him with the
I think this is fake.
You think it's fake?
No, was he charged? He should have been charged with assault. Stossel's such a pro, he's probably like, now, that felt fake to me.
That was for sure fake, you pussy. Back to you, Karen.
Oh my gosh, dude, people are going crazy. Yes. Thanks, Aman. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Profits Business Gurus. Patrick controlled the narrative, and when you try to get back on topic, he called you trolls. Not easy. On a side note, Amish loves some love, ladies. Show Amish some love, ladies. Jeez, I can't read right now. Yo, should we bring on our new guest, because we have a second guest, guys, and you guys
she's gonna even tell us whatever we missed too, because she's obsessed with them. She's the Filipino Coffeezilla.
Let's go.
She's the Coffeezilla of the Philippines.
Let's bring her on right now.
What is this?
Hello, Invested Lifestyle.
Hi, Stephen.
What's up, buddy?
Hi, nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Formally. What's your name?
Yeah, close this.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you go by?
Elaine.
Elaine. Okay, awesome. Thanks for coming on, Elaine. What did you think of the show?
I had a lot of questions because, first, when he was comparing it with a real estate agent, right? It's just a real estate agent. But the thing with the PHP is real estate agents gets paid when they sell, right? But in PHP, you get promoted when your recruits another person, right?
Right. See, great point.
Yeah.
We missed
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
I have heard that you
No,
got to
this is
recruit.
this
a
is
bunch
what
of
I
people.
want.
Yeah.
This is one of the points I really wanted to talk about, which is that part of like most people losing. Most people have to lose for the thing to work. I mean, that's not speculation. That's literally the comp plan would not work if you didn't have a bunch of losers at the bottom. That's how it's built. We just didn't get to a lot of things. I had so much in my doc folder. There's just a lot we didn't get to because there were time constraints on it. And yeah.
Yeah, and another thing is he's saying like, oh, but it's a product, right? The problem with the insurance product is it's a long commitment, because when you buy like Amway, right? Yeah, you can just get out. But like if it's term insurance, it's like 10, 20, 30 years. Yeah.
That's what his sales guy was saying. The way he
Yeah.
explained it, and it's so sad that he took down the video, but the way he explained it is he's like, basically the way this game works is that in 20 years, a bunch of people go, oh, I got 5.
Yeah.
I'm never going to actually make any money. But he explains it good, and I lost the video, man.
Yeah,
he deleted it.
Yeah, but he's really charismatic. That's why.
That's how you got,
he's
that's what
very
you gotta give to him.
likable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta give it to him.
Yeah. So I want to tell you guys that when I first came here in the US, I was recruited by WFG. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us your story.
So tell us, because they're pretty close to WFG from what I've heard.
Yeah. So when I was a teenager, I already got scammed by an MLM. Like I tried really hard. I lost a lot of money. And then
Wow, we should
so
have
I
had
came
you on the show. You should have been my co-host.
Yeah, she's doing it in the
I
Philippines.
love it. Yeah, they call me Filipino Coffeezilla.
No,
and I love
Steven,
it.
I'm gonna be on her show, dude. I'm doing her shows on Tuesday, your show on Thursdays. What do you mean? Dude, I gotta do Filipino. You don't think Philippines needs a drip? You don't think the Philippines needs a drip? I'm on Philippines drip. I'm Canadian drip. I'm in a US drip.
As
I got
long as
another
it
Canadian
doesn't
one.
interfere with our show, Amish.
Look, Tuesday is Filipino drip, and that's it, dude. There's nothing I can do.
Me and Amish were talking, and like our families are so like.
Yeah, her dad was in a bunch of these MLMs. You're saying.
Yeah.
And so is your dad, right? He was always looking for the bag.
No, my dad was looking for the bag, but he didn't do MLM because MLM they do sell it. And this is one thing that Patrick O'Day was trying to say. And I was trying to give him the thing here where it's like, half the time they say it's so much work, and then half the time they say it's get rich quick. And that's for all the scams. Half the time they say get rich quick, and then as soon as there's a hint of like you're mad, they go, well, you're not working hard enough. That's always the double-sided coin.
Yeah, tell us what it was like getting recruited by WFG. What do you think you were sold the dream? Did you feel like you got what you were sold?
Yeah, but the problem is when they recruited me, right? Because they're like, oh, immigrant. Because I just came here, like I was here for 3 months. I didn't have a job. And I look like an innocent little immigrant, you know. But they don't know. But they don't know that I was already victimized. So I'm not their virgin market. I already know that this is gonna be an MLM. So they got us into this like old office, and I forgot where it is, like in Cerritos, I think. And then there's a PowerPoint presentation, like a really like with clip art. It's like a very bad PowerPoint presentation. And so we were recruited by a loved one. That's the problem. So we can't leave. But in the middle of the presentation, this guy just stood up and just left, you know. He's like, F this, I'm going. Yeah.
Wow.
And me and my husband were like, oh my God, I hope we could also leave, you know.
Are we allowed to leave?
Yeah, because on the other room we can hear the other people, like the one that's already inside, they're like chanting, like it's like a cult. So they're like, oh, you know. Like yeah. And then after the meeting, they don't ask you if you want to join. They just say, oh, when can we go to your house? And we're like, but the problem is we live with the person who recruited us, so they already know where we live. And then they went there, and then
So they came to your house.
Yeah, so they waited, to sign us up, right?
Okay.
And then we purposely got, she was there at like 6 p.m. And then we went to Disneyland. and then got home at 1 in the morning, and she's still there.
You know what? You call that a closer. That's what you call a closer.
Yeah, 1 a.m.
Hey, sign her up for PHP, because I think, dude, that's the kind of commitment they need at PHP, dude. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's a hard worker.
That's a hard worker.
Yeah, so I could have said to PPD that thing, right? So you waited for that amount of time, and then she told us we're gonna be, she told us we're gonna be a millionaire in 6 months, and then
6 months. Wait.
Yeah,
a millionaire in 6 months.
Yes.
This is what I'm talking about. And listen, this is WFG we're talking about, but a lot of people say this, which is when they get in these meetings, it's like talked about like you're gonna be rich, dude.
Yeah. Just like Tony Robbins.
That's what I have the problem with, dude.
He's a great guy, right? But I feel like if you get a loan with one of his sales reps, they're aggressive, they're closers, and I think they're the kind of guys that say, "Okay, where's your mom? Let's go sign her up."
Yeah.
I feel like that's the kind of aggression we're talking about. Whereas the top guy always has to be chill. Tony Robbins, he only swears at the seminar, but on his tapes, he's a great guy, man. He's so nice. You go to the seminar, it's F you, break up with your boyfriend right now. He's crazy. But sorry, go on.
Yeah, and then I asked her, like, how many years have you been in WFG? And then she said, well, 4 years. And I was like, well, are you a millionaire? Because I know she's not.
She's a millionaire in 6 months.
And then she's like, you're pretty. Like, kind of like PBD. Like, she just goes on a tangent and just tells me a story.
Whoa. So you thought PBD was tangenting with us today?
Yeah.
Was he? I couldn't tell, because sometimes I thought we were being disrespectful and be like, hey, stick to the point. But then he was like, well, if you let me finish, I will tell you after the story that what I mean to say is that, like, he was going, and he's good, man. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, they're good. And then, because at that time, Steven, I didn't have a job. I didn't have income, and they're selling me $300 insurance.
That's what I was trying to say about you are preying on desperate people, because you are not a person, and this is why, having you on is great, especially in the context of all this, because you had real experience with this, where they're talking to somebody who doesn't have a lot of options. You're just looking for any opportunity. You're told you're going to make $1 million, and they sign you right up. To be clear, this is an MLM insurance company, so this whole thing about like we're regulated, whatever, does not apply here. They are the same. WFG and PHP are direct competitors.
I think so.
Yes.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
They're exactly the same. Maybe so from what I researched, PHP only like gives you like 3% more in commissions, but the business model is the same. And by the way, Steven, I was an eligibility worker in the county, and I look at tax returns, right? And one of so my loved one who is in WFG, he always tells me, once I become a senior marketing director, I'll make $250,000. I'll have all these cars and stuff, you know. And I saw senior marketing director applying for food stamps, and then in his taxes it's $2,000 a year, and I was like, I think you're missing a zero. And he's like, oh no, that's how much I make. I made more last year, like 22,000. A senior marketing director, do you know, like you have to recruit 36 people.
That's what I'm trying to say is like, is the whole thing, listen, nobody's going to get on here and say Patrick's not slick. But when you actually dive into the numbers is where I feel like everything just falls apart.
Yeah.
And you have to deflect from that if you're pro that. But because the numbers just aren't good.
Yeah, it's because Steven also, he doesn't tell you that once you become a senior marketing director, you will never go down. So it means that no matter if you make zero, you're still going to be that, you're still going to have that title, right? So people is still going to think that you're making a lot of money. By the way, the woman who recruited me already quit.
Well, that's actually one thing they don't tell you is the churn on these things are really bad. So they say it's passive income, but the reality of most MLMs is that you are quick. There's 50% churn at a lot of these places, meaning 50% of the people quit every time, and you have to replace those people.
Yeah.
Well, weren't you saying 92% to me yesterday? Like I thought
Well,
you were texting me yesterday.
they said 90% in the first year, and then like in the second year it's like 50. Yeah, I got it, Steven, from Pro MLM website, because they're telling the uplines that you should never stop recruiting. Never stop recruiting.
It's hilarious. A Pro MLM website's like, look, we're losing everybody. we're hemorrhaging. We're hemorrhaging, guys.
Never stop recruiting.
Yeah. But also, Steven, I came here because I found like the best story about MLMs ever.
Yes.
So yes.
Give it to
best
us.
Story. So so I was investigating this MLM that's recruiting kids 16 to 24 years old, like even 15 years old, right? And it's called Sapphire. A lot of US anti-MLM already know about this. Yeah, and it's like a cult. They have like a pledge that we pledge to our founder, something like that. And then it's a
like
fake
a pledge of allegiance, like
yeah,
a pledge
like
of allegiance to Sapphire that will make me rich in a year.
To the founder.
Wow.
To the founder.
To the founder? Not even to like to this business and spreading the goodness of it.
It's so culty. And then because it's a fake scholarship. They say if you buy these products, this like this like skincare, you'll get scholarship, you get medical support, you get like jackets. Like even the jackets they didn't get, you know.
The word scholarship, like, come on. Don't say, hey, you got a scholarship into my MLM university.
These are low-income students. Like their parents loan to loan sharks to get them the money. You know? And then, so I made a video about this guy, and then it really went well. And then while I'm doing the video, there's this lady from Kiani. So we're talking about two MLMs now. Okay. So it's Sapphire and Kiani. So this guy who created the MLM, I call him the Keith Raniere of the Philippines.
Wow.
Yeah.
Keith Raniere, if you guys don't know, ran huge cult.
Yeah.
Nexium. And he had a bunch of Hollywood girls in it. Like he had like 10 girls from big TV shows.
I forgot, Steven.
Tattooed, like branded as his slave.
So this guy in Sapphire also created a YouTube video, and he's asking these kids to write songs and then to like make content for
free content.
Him. Free content. So so he's from Kiani, and then his mentor. So this is a Ponzi scheme, right? Because it grew to 164,000 students. Can you imagine? $100 each. So how much did he make in a few months? This pandemic, it's crazy.
It's insane.
So his
1,000.
So his mentor, because the pyramid scheme or the Ponzi scheme, the MLM, is already collapsing. He can't pay anymore, so he stopped paying. His mentor started another like photocopy of Sapphire, Hope and Inspire movers. Yeah.
The Hope and Inspire.
It's
that's
always
a good
like
one.
Hope
and Inspire. Hope and Inspire movement.
Yeah,
you gotta
I
love the Hope and Inspire
know.
movement, guys. The
Hope
and Inspire movement.
Movers. It's redundant.
my
Hope and
God.
Inspire. And then started recruiting the victims, because I'm telling them, once you get scammed, they scam you again and again. They already have the list. And then this woman, Cookie, also has an offshoot of Kiani. So MLMs, when they're dying, Kiani's dying. I don't know what to say. It's dying in the US, right?
Yep.
So they have an offshoot, like a fake charity that's they're saying that, we're gonna help people. So remember, Steven, when you did a video about Lioness? So it's Lioness, a cashback, but instead of retailers, you only buy Kiani products.
Of course. That's great.
So it's a closed system. And then they're promising $100 million retirement, They're promising like cars, and they're promising like husbands and wives.
I'm going to start a scholarship for you guys at home where if you buy merch that doesn't exist yet, I'm going to give you a scholarship. If you spend $100, I'll give you back $5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to bless you all with a scholarship at Drip University. Every Thursday night, come here, subscribe to the channel, and you just got a scholarship to Drip University.
Free.
Just come listen to the show.
All of you guys just got full rides, dude. Full rides for everybody.
Full scholarship for everyone, and that's great. God is great.
So, Amish, there's more. There's more.
Tell us.
So, there's already 4 MLMs involved here. So, Cookie is also... I debated her, and she told me that, we just want to give scholarship to the kids, 164. I have a billionaire that can give scholarship to the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
this is Invested Lifestyle, guys. This is our channel.
Thank you.
What's the debate called?
Well, that's why it got taken down, because I was copyrighted twice.
Yeah,
dude,
they're coming
this
after
is
her
what
right
they do.
They're coming after her right now.
But you know what, Steven? I'm gonna sue them.
Really? That costs a lot of money.
I'm gonna sue them. It's fine. I just have my house refinanced. I have all the money in the world to sue them.
Don't sue them. Don't sue them. Don't sue them.
Don't sue
you don't
them.
need to sue them.
But Steven, I need to set a precedent, because they've been infringing our freedom of speech in the Philippines for so long. So I need to set an example. They just can't do that to us. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Respect to the female Coffeezilla guys.
But don't. No, but
Wow.
imagine like they lose their money
Wow.
MLM, then you lose your money suing the MLM.
That's
No, but
They're
if
screwing
you
everyone.
but if you sue them for fake copyright claims, they will pay all your attorney's fees and damages.
Hit him.
Okay. Hit them.
Just
Yeah.
be careful. Be careful. But I love the chutzpah. The
No. She's
don't
very
know.
Coffeezilla. Dude, I didn't just say Coffeezilla in the Philippines. Like, there's a reason, dude. This is something you would do. You get mad enough to be like, well, I'm going after him. It's
Oh, by
like,
the way,
wow.
Coffeezilla, you saved me. I have liability insurance now.
Woo!
Yeah.
Hey, everybody needs liability insurance. If you're on YouTube and you don't just always kiss people's butts, if you say anything negative about anyone ever, you need liability insurance. I'm really happy for you. That's good.
Thank you.
Someone did that for me too.
Yeah.
But Coffee, this is the best part. So the
Okay.
billionaire is also a fake guru. Yeah. So because I was so mad, I researched him and his school that he's gonna give scholarship. So you pay $100, right, to be an instructor, and you will study for 8 hours, and then you will have to recruit your own students for $30 each. Yeah. And they say you're gonna make $100,000.
They all say that. Oh,
yeah.
Who's
So
this
he's a
person?
fake guru, huh? Paul
this person?
Hatta. Paul Hatta.
Paul
He
Hatta.
also has a lot of shell companies in the US.
How do you
Everything is
spell Hatta?
registered. Hata. And Steven, he's a partner in Atomy. I know your mom is there.
Hey, be respectful.
My God.
Be respectful. Be respectful.
Yeah.
Steve's gonna go off like, don't talk about my mom. She's
you're talking about my
I know
scam.
it's embarrassing. I have a channel. My mom signed up. Okay.
My dad is in 5 MLMs when he
No.
died.
Yeah. No, that's why it's so good. Even Patrick Bet David got scammed. So it's good that we tell the community. It's great for the congregation.
You
But
know
he
what you
tell
never
all your friends.
recruits.
Go ahead. What?
He never recruits. He believes that this water, that this vitamins is gonna heal him.
He's the sweetest man. You
My
know that's
dad-
my
my
mom
dad
too.
did this too.
My mom.
man.
That's my mom too. She got in the MLM. She doesn't want to sell it. Like she's been like talked into like the thing, and I'm like, Mom, it's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
And she just wanted to support her friend because her friend like got her in.
Yeah.
They're like, this'll, whatever. My mom's like, I'll buy it, whatever, fine, sign me up. That's a lot of people get in that way.
Same,
is
my dad, same thing. He's like, let's help a guy out. Hey, you can't you gotta front. You know what my dad said one time? He goes, you gotta let the money back out into the economy. You can't just hoard it. You gotta let it into the economy. I mean, not a con artist, dude.
So to wrap this up, this guy is into penny stocks. He's saying he's a billionaire, but I looked at the SEC documents, and he literally said it to the SEC that his company is a shell company that doesn't create any revenue. And then he is also involved in this Ponzi scheme that get this, Steven. So the 18-year-old TikTok brokers or something, they promised 1% a day, right? And you were so mad. So mad. So this one in the SEC advisory of the Philippines, they are promising 15,600% per year.
Oh my God.
Interest.
But they don't say that. They say like 20% a month. What do they say? 18% per week, and then that when you add it up.
What is that? 18% a day or something? Like what is that? What is that? 15,000?
No idea. But
they just advertise it as $16,000 per 16,000%.
That's 41% a day. 41% a day, guys. No big deal.
In the SEC document, it says that they think it's a Ponzi scheme because they're promising 15,600% per year. So it's called Next Gen Global Alliance. Yeah. So after I made this video, they started copyright striking me. So yeah. So I filed a countersuit, and if nothing happened, then I'm gonna sue them for false copyright claims.
Just explain that to us real quick. So they claimed your videos on YouTube, and then you were suing them.
Yeah, because my
YouTube video.
So I'm gonna explain it to you. So they copyrighted strike me, right? And then I answered that no, this is fair use. So they have 10 days to sue me to the federal court. If they don't sue me, YouTube will bring it up again.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I will sue them for suing me for claiming that I stole their videos.
You are truly an American, eh? You're here and you're like, I'm gonna start. You know, America's most
we're in America.
People in America, there's like 10 times more lawsuits in America than the whole rest of the world. Like people in America sue, man.
Just make sure, please, just be careful. I want you
to don't lose your money.
I don't want you to, you've already lost your money with WFG. I don't want you to lose any money again. But I respect the hell out of your man, you're going after
Steven, this is not for me. This is for all the anti-MLM YouTubers. It's all for the debunk community.
Let's talk about anti-MLM. They do it to everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about that. These guys, and it's not just one group, but their tactics are to shut you down, to silence you with these copyright claims, right?
Yes, that's what they do. That's what they do.
They've done this to Always Marco. They've done it to, I'm sure they've done it to, have they done it to Illuminati?
I don't know if they've done it.
They've done it to a bunch of these people.
I know Cruel World Happy Mind, Madison Cornish, she got hit by a pickup artist. This pickup artist is like, hey, don't fuck with me. Like, yeah, but she also had an article written about her in the Atlantic. Like the anti-MLM community right now is getting some heat because the MLM people have a lot of money. And this is what I'm kind of saying to PBD too. Is like, okay, you have a ton of money, so you paid off the government to make this legal. Also, ton of money, so they're coming after. Like, it is easier to sue someone, I guess, if you're like scammed a bunch of money out of people. Now they can do a lawsuit, or they can do like, you have to take your videos down and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do it for fun, I think.
Ezekiel Mason, $5 countersuit. She's a warrior. Mr. Langan, $5. PHP is only bad if the $199 yearly fee is the only way they make money versus selling insurance.
But Steve, yearly fees. But Steven, he always points out about the $199, but you have to buy insurance in order to be part of PHP.
Yeah, so, I think you do, right? Like,
and it's overpriced.
It's overpriced.
Yeah, and also they told my loved one to put all her 401k in there.
PHP or WFG though? Let's be clear.
WFG.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they do it too.
I think so too. I think Patrick's like very cool. I've seen his sales reps more aggressive than him.
Yeah.
And this video's gone. It's so sad. I should have just downloaded it when I saw it because I didn't think he'd take it down. I thought it was normal for them to be like, hey, we're doing PHP. These WFG guys, let me just take some of their agents. And he had a really good point. He's basically like, our organization is your organization, but we tweak the numbers so we're not taking as much fees. Also, guess what? If you join any he explains this very well with the numbers on a market board. He goes, you join any MLM, if you're not in there in the first 20 years,
convinced.
You're so screwed. You are not making any money. You are like in the bottom of so he was basically saying in that video that if you're WFG, you're the bottom tier. Like you're not making it. He made his money. He's leaving. You're never going to make any money. PHP, you still got a chance. But then he doesn't do the full math on PHP and say, oh, in the end, PHP is going to be like that.
They hate math. He says he loves numbers, but no, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Elaine with the rip and dip. Listen, you got what I like about you is you've got the experience with WFG, which is obviously very similar. Primerica, I believe, is also one of these MLM insurance companies. So they told one of your friends to put their 401k into
there. Yeah.
Why?
Their whole 401k. Yeah. Because they said that
advising.
they said that it's gonna be her retirement. And I was like, no, because the fees eat it up. The IULs, it eats the fees eat your 401k.
Really? I thought the insurance was legit. So are they not just selling you an insurance policy that is like what's the real insurance company? I thought they just sell the real insurance. Like that's what I always saw when I looked into it.
Well,
so
whole life
go ahead.
Yeah, whole life insurance is already a bad investment.
Okay.
Yeah,
so whole life insurance is a legit company.
Yeah, but it's already a bad investment. But if you put MLM in there, it's like double. Like,
okay, so
whammy.
Amish, the way MLM works is usually the products are
Overpriced.
double, way more, way overpriced because they have to pay all the way down line, right? And they're already paying people pennies on the dollar, so the products have to be overpriced by design. It can't be a competitive marketplace. So what she's talking about is wholesale life by itself. The normal product already isn't that great, but then if you add in MLM, just double the cost of a kind of a bad product.
Wow.
Although life insurance for a few people makes sense. Life insurance for everybody makes no sense. You need to have you need to have dependents, Amish. So like, why would I pay a premium when I'm like 25 years old? If I die, listen, everyone's going to be sad, but my wife has a job, right? Now, if I have kids, those kids, the loss of income now affects more than just like, me, and like it now affects dependents, and you got to prepare. So that's the real case for life insurance is in the case that something goes wrong, you have life insurance to basically smooth out the loss of income. But for a lot of people, the loss of income doesn't change as much. So it's just basically like a lottery ticket. And it's like, you don't need that. Why would you pay a premium for just like, throwaway money when in actual fact, if you just saved it, you'd have been better off. That's basically the shtick I have on life insurance.
So the way this guy explained it too is, this guy, this is again, I know I keep referencing this video that's got taken down, but he was saying that basically Amway is doing potions and lotion. He said Amway, that's all potions and lotions. The real money is insurance because those are low ticket items, and the insurance is a lifelong, over your life, like maybe you're dropping 10,000 and whatever. So he was saying that like when you jump over to insurance, the numbers basically make sense. I mean, he had me convinced. Honestly, I got to be honest. I was like, you know what? Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But then he did go on to say that like with any MLM, the top, like I think the first 20, 30 years make money. And then after that, that's who's getting, after that, like you're kind of burning people out.
Actually like 0.1% for me.
Always. I mean, it's the structure of the thing. As the thing grows, the base of people getting screwed grows, but that base will always be there. Even at the beginning, that base is there. Does that make sense? Like if you have a triangle and you grow the triangle, the base is always the biggest part of the scheme, which is the people at the bottom making no money.
You only make money. That's the thing we could even say to Patrick next time is that like you get rich because a bunch of people lose. I mean, you did say it. We did say it a bunch of times. But you basically get rich because a bunch of other people get poor. And like, what do you guys think is the overall cost of capitalism on this? Meaning, or just the culture? Like I saw a video where the guy said like an entire country was destroyed by a pyramid scheme. Like they are like little viruses. They just go out of control. Do you think there can be a real threat to America from this? Like what percentage of our economy, like is it so bad?
Yeah. So for me, the problem with MLMs is we forget our real problems because I work in the government, right? And there's a lot of problems that we're trying to solve. But MLMs is saying that, if you come here and join us, all your problems will disappear. So instead of people trying to fix, for example, homelessness, trying to fix like the minimum wage, they are in this delusion that, oh, I'll just go to the MLM and then all my problems will go away, you know? So it's like you're living in a dream.
It's funny how Patrick was getting offended when he's like, when did I say it was easy? When did I say it was easy? And it's like, dude, we got to play that. Okay, can we play his trailer?
I don't want to talk too much about Patrick specifically because again, he's not here. But what I will say is I do agree with what you said about like the problem with MLM. I would say, Amish, whenever you say, is this a threat to America? Like there's a lot of problems. Like fake gurus are a problem. Are they a threat to democracy as we know it? Probably not. I think that's like a little bit hyperbole. But there are problems that we need to solve anyway, and most of them are not threats to America. Cancer's a problem. Is it going to ruin America? No. Also, there's big challenges, scams, Bernie Madoff.
I would say,
there's huge problems.
Healthcare we need to solve. Country. Like healthcare can destroy a country. Like there are things that can get big enough. I don't think MLMs are that big, honestly. Maybe it's 2-3% of the country, but like it just seems like when you look at a country and
20%.
20% of what American citizens are in an
MLM.
Have been in an MLM, you mean?
Yeah. Right. Have been in an MLM.
Yeah, at some point. Right.
But that's
crazy.
Like, that's a lot. And then, but I just think about how many
people are. Is that true?
Yeah. It's the statistics, 18 to 20%.
But then that includes a bunch of people who just signed up and left. Which is Patrick Bet David's one of his best arguments, and sorry to bring him up, but like one of his best arguments was like, "Hey man, it's like real
bringing
estate.
Up PBD.
They come, they leave. Hey, man, I love them, dude. I love them.
Keep them out of your mouth, okay? Relax.
Hey, guys, stop with all this negativity. I'm doing a show this Sunday called Lovers and Laughs. Stop trying to get rich quick and come back to some Lovers and Laughs.
How did this pitch into your comedy show?
April 25th, baby.
Go ahead, get it out of your system. Hold on, me and Elaine will be quiet as you pitch and chill your
this
comedy
Sunday,
show.
Lovers and Laughs. It's going to be a great show. A lot of great comics on it. Unknown Comedy Club. It's a Zoom show, Steven. It's a Zoom show. It's a
Zoom show?
They're making a new company. Yeah, they're making a new company.
I feel like that's
dude. We are locked down. Okay, unlike you in Texas, we're not running around outside. We are locked down.
Send me the link. When is it?
Yeah,
I was barely paying attention.
Okay, I'm gonna watch.
I know.
Hey, in California, we're like already one of the lowest, by the way.
Really? So California's doing all right again, eh? Wow. Yeah. I thought Florida just said we're not following any rules, and the numbers are the same.
No, they've kind of gone up. But listen, just get the vax, guys, so we can go back to life as usual, buddies.
Does the vax even the vax reduces the symptoms for a lot of people? Because I heard that you get the vax and then you can still get it.
Oh, okay, Amish. That's so much misinformation. Okay, that's not how viruses or disease works. Like,
no, I think
you get a vaccine. You can still get it. Listen. The transmissibility and the likelihood of catching it go way down, and then and also we just don't know too much, but we know that it goes way down. And what we also know is that when you get the disease, you're far less likely to have any kind of meaningful effect. So
that I heard.
Not only does the R naught, which is like how fast the disease spreads, go down drastically, but you also have the disease burden go down drastically as well.
We gotta get it.
If you believe that, nanobots aren't being injected in your technology.
I'm not anti-vaxxing.
By the way, I already got it.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it next week.
What'd you get? Which one did you get?
No. I already got COVID before last November.
I thought you said you got vaccine. No, you got the COVID.
It's mild.
Okay.
It's just quarantine. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey.
Some people get it so bad, and that's why I call it terrorism. COVID is terrorism.
What?
No, COVID is terrorism because half the people are like sleeper cells.
I was just like,
you get it, you pass it on.
You have to hear him out of this because I thought this was crazy until I heard about. Go ahead, Amish. Go ahead.
No, it's terrorism. It sounds crazy, but this is COVID is terrorism because half the people are sleeper cells. You're just carrying it. You're passing it on to someone else. You don't even get it. That's what fucks us up, man. Because if you look at SARS, everyone who got it. COVID, what percentage of people get mild or no symptoms? Like, is it half?
99%?
No,
90 something.
Some people get it really bad,
I don't
and
know.
we have to be careful for them.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just get it, and they're like,
no, the asymptomatic's really high. Amish, I thought this analogy made sense until you restated it, and then I realized it once again did not make sense. It went back to not making sense.
Look, in God's eyes, it is correct. But anyway, it's fine.
And by the way, there's only two pure anti-MLMs in the Philippines. By the way, it's me and Doc Adam, because most people think that there are good and bad MLMs. Both of us,
my family is mad at me. They're not mad, but they're like, Amish, stop being negative.
Like the structure for me. For us, me. So
Right.
you have to guess Doc Adam, Amish, and Steven. He loves you guys.
What's the name?
Hey,
What's the
we
name?
would love to have him.
DOC space Adam, ADAM. Oh,
We're gonna bring him on.
he loves you guys. Yeah.
1.88 million, baby.
Yeah,
Bring him on.
And then he can answer all your questions about
Oh, he's gonna lose it on Amish. Amish is gonna be like, COVID's like terrorism, and he's gonna be like,
it is a biological terrorism.
No, he's against this lady in Texas, by the way. And because this lady just he debunked her, because this lady is like, no knowledge of medical history, no whatever.
That's my favorite.
It's like, oh, I have ovarian cancer stage 4, and she's like, vitamin C.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My
big.
vitamin C.
You got it.
Yeah.
The amount of shit my mom tells me, oh my God. My mom has had 6 cancer cures. She's sitting on 6 cancer cures. She got them, dude. Almonds and lemon, she told me one time. Parsley and ginger.
I finally got what you're saying. She's sitting on them because they're all in her pantry because it's like almonds.
Yeah.
Mine is
She's
garlic.
like, almonds and garlic every day.
Yeah.
Instead of day.
Yeah.
Instead of day. Dude, she's got 6 cures downstairs.
Bless her heart. Yes.
Yeah. Well, our mothers are the same.
My mom too.
your mom too.
Yeah.
My mom got thyroid cancer. The whole house smelled like garlic. She said, pot. She bought a giant pot. I lost Amish. So she bought this huge pot and just started breaking off cloves, and she would do 50 cloves of garlic per pot. And she said, I have to overload my system with the garlic. The garlic fights the cancer.
Yes, this is why you're here, Stephen. This is why you're here. Just like my dad and my mom, you hear this pseudoscience and you go, I gotta make a YouTube channel and like just express myself, and because I can't say shit to my mom. My mom's like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, you gotta have respect. You gotta have respect.
She says you have respect, goddammit. You know what she said yesterday, dude? She's watching some Hindu nationalists on TV, some guy giving a speech, and the guy's talking about how like I came from nothing and I rose up. And my mom goes, wow, Amish, he was poor and he rose up. I'm like, Mom, everyone says that. She lost it. She's like, you have no respect for anyone.
Yeah.
Some people come from poverty and they rise up. How dare you say that? You don't know. It's like, everyone does this.
You can't win.
You can't win.
Yeah.
You can't win. I got yelled at. No.
Yeah, but my mom is cool though. She's very cool. She's coming to the US soon.
My mom's pretty cool though. Like I'm not saying my mom's like a loser or anything. She goes wild sometimes. Sometimes she gets a theory. She's like, she just goes. I'm like, Mom, the guy. It's a great speech. I was like watching the speech too with her. I'm like, it's a tight speech though. No. It's a great speech.
It's just what they all do.
They all say I was born poor.
No, don't
You've
say
been
that.
scammed by 3 people.
You watch it.
We've literally had a con artist come to our house. Like when I was like 15 years old, he came to our house and his whole in was, I grew up poor. They bought like $2,000 worth of like just empty CD players. Yeah. Just CD, like CD, dude, it's just empty inside. We opened it, we're like, Mom, there's nothing in
incredible.
Here. Why?
Because the guy, my dad bought this too one time, like just people, he's walking in a thing, some guy, he's walking like in a parking lot, some guy opens the back of a van, he goes, hey man, I got 800 stolen jackets, they're worth $5,000. You want it? I'll give you one for $50. He comes home, he's like, Amish, look, $50 it's
$5,000, and he doesn't realize that's the scam, is that it's actually worth like $20.
It's garbage, dude. It was nothing. But dude, they all do the same move. I grew up poor.
Yeah.
My parents abandoned me, whatever. They just jump in with my parents abandoned me.
Yeah, like all the fakers do that. But I just want to say hi to my subscribers, by the way.
What's up?
Yeah, hi guys.
Hi. All of them subscribed here before the show. I told them to subscribe so they can get notified.
And we're gonna tell our people to subscribe to your channel, Invested Lifestyle, guys. Go subscribe right now.
I was
You're gonna
so
want to
worried
see it.
Steve would see the name. He'd see your name, Invested Lifestyle. He's like, who is this? It's hey, she is the Coffeezilla of the Philippines. The name is ironic because you do sound like a con artist. I mean, with that name.
What?
Invested Lifestyle? You're selling a class. Hey guys, you have to invest in your lifestyle. I can just see it, but you're not.
No, dude, she's going against these people. Hey, I really like what you're doing. I like what you stand for. Obviously, we stand for a lot of the same things, so I guess that's kind of easy to say.
And I love books, like you.
Steven, I told you, dude. She's the
guys. Look, when I hang up my hat, I'm just gonna go knowing that the world is in good hands. It's fine. There are people carrying the torch.
Yes.
Amazing.
And
thank you so much for coming on.
Catch us on Filipino Drip every Tuesday night. Filipino Drip.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Filipino Drip every Tuesday. Check it out. It's hot. This week we got Doc Adam or whatever.
You have to speak Tagalog. You have to speak Tagalog.
Doc Adam. Hey, thank you so much for coming on. We'll bring you on again.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you. Guys, give it up.
Thank you, guys.
For Elaine of Invested Lifestyle. You'll be seeing more of her. Awesome. All right, Amish, I have been... Bye, Elaine. No, you're okay. You're okay.
Hey,
Sorry.
it's COVID. We're figuring it out.
Sorry, I didn't know how to...
It's even Patrick is like, do I leave now? Hey, man,
yeah, it's always weird. So I prefer to I don't know how to, what a sweet girl. Very nice, very respectful. Got a lot of great points.
I did tell her Invested Lifestyle though. Like the first thing I said, like, hey, the name, you sound like a scam.
Yo,
10 rows, $10. This is not necessarily true. You buy insurance when you're young, so that way you can get in at a reasonable premium, as most young people are healthy and lack any pre-existing conditions. Ken Rose, okay, that's an interesting point. Like if you're 20 years old and you know that, they do sell it to you cheaper.
I think the question is like if you're doing nothing else with your money, I just would question how good of a investment. But we're not going to quibble on that. Thank you. Share your cape for 249 PHP currency.
What, PHP
How
bucks?
do you give us PHP bucks?
We're not giving PHP bucks here,
dude.
Now what is that? 249 towards an insurance?
How much is 249 PHP in US dollars? That's so funny, dude.
It's one insurance policy. It's like we just bought an insurance policy. It's like we have monthly payments now. Hey, 249 in PHP.
Hey, what are you talking about? Have some respect, Amish. That's the Filipino peso. You have some respect. Those are our lovely Filipino people. It just happens to be PHP.
We got some
ignorant.
Filipino fans now, dude.
That's so
great.
funny. It's just funny the way it came up. That's so disrespectful.
PHP is just a funny acronym, dude. That's great.
Yo,
what a
Amish,
fun episode.
Can I take a little twist before we log off here?
Get it.
So I went to the doctor.
Okay.
And this is going to take a left turn here. Getting away from the MLMs.
Okay.
And if you want to talk about anything, I'm also happy to talk.
Oh, real quick. Lovers and Laughs this Sunday, April 25th.
Okay.
At Fade to Brown on Instagram. Check it out. I have the poster up there, but go for it, man. Let's hear this.
Okay. I want to talk to people because I had a moment at the doctor where I said, is this right? Am I at the right place? Is this how stuff at doctors is done? I don't know. So when's the last time you got a physical, Amish? I got a physical.
Okay.
Was it today? It was literally today.
Sick.
It was just like this morning. I like totally forgot about it. I mean, it's just been, I feel like so much has happened today. It feels like it was like yesterday or something. So
Dude,
I go in.
PPD was stressful, I got to say, but go on.
No, he's great. So I go in for this physical, haven't done one in like 5 years. And I have like 8 things wrong with me. I'm like, no, minor things, like I have high blood pressure and stuff.
Okay.
So I go in. And the first thing they do, the nurse comes in, she asks me questions, and she goes, this, and this. Everything's like, yeah, you probably should watch this, whatever. She goes, all right, the doctor's going to see you. Get into this robe. Bro, what are these gowns, these hospital gowns, that your cheeks are exposed to the raw wind?
Rude.
Why? It's like a hole just to the backside. And I said, hey, what did I sign up for? This is not a colonoscopy.
Why can't we just tie it up? We don't have enough fabric for
felt
this
straight. Right. What's going on with the literal butthole? I mean, it's like a hole for your butt.
I've seen seniors assholes. I've seen senior citizen asses, dude. They're just hanging.
I just know. Here's my question. I'm in like a regular shirt, not thick, just regular shorts. I'm like in woke. It was like 8 a.m, super early. So I'm like, what am I doing at 8 a.m? And they said, the doctor can't see you until you put this on. So I put it on and he starts like doing his whole press thing. And it got a little strange, but he never did anything with that region. So I was like, why did you put me through this? You emasculated me for absolutely no reason.
He didn't get up in that ass, but he wanted to see it.
No, but listen, no, nothing like that.
Okay.
He's like, any problem with your testicles? I said, no. Hey, there's nothing wrong. Because he was kind of like, do you want me to look? We don't have to. And I go, hey, trust me, it's fine. He goes, all right, whatever. But that was it. And then he goes, okay, great. You can put your clothes back on. I was like, wait, where's the part where like, why did I need to get in the stupid gown? No, it's humiliating. And then I'm like, all right, well, I need to use your restroom. And then we were going to like draw some blood. And so the guy goes like, I'm leaving like to go to the restroom. She goes right down the hall. And then the guy says, wait, get his pee. I said, excuse me? And he's like, no, we're going to take a urine sample. I said, oh, okay.
Wait. Excuse me, doctor. Say get a urine sample.
Right.
I don't need to hear, hey, get his piss.
Right.
Stop it.
Right. Well, so this is going to require, is this way too much information, guys? So
tell us.
Part of this is that, so before you do this, you have to fast beforehand and you've got to, you can't drink any water. So to make sure all the numbers are right. So part of this is the real reason I was going to the restroom wasn't to go number 1. So like already a lot of pressure is being put on me. I was going number 2. So it's like already, I don't know. So I get in the restroom and there's these cups. I'm giving myself a hiatal hernia, like a literal, I am like killing myself to get something for the cup here because I have nothing in my system. I have no pee in my system.
And then it'll come out, no? I find that I always have to do a pee with the poo. I can't ever do a poo.
No. I had no water. I'm dehydrated. So finally I get a little,
only poo.
Enough. I got enough, right? So I take this cup. I go, all right, where do I put this? They go, they had told me it's in this little thing, this little window. So you open this window, you put it in, my name, my thing on it, whatever. I go outside, I say, great, it's done. They take my blood, whatever. I'm about to leave. I'm like, thank God I'm getting out of here. This has been a weird experience. And the lady runs up to me, Steven, sir, hey, we gotta get you to pee. I said, what are you talking about? I already peed. What? She goes,
urine sample.
No. She goes, what? She goes, I just checked. There's no pee there. And all of a sudden I have a super uncomfortable moment because another nurse is walking up and she goes, no, I just saw it. It was in the thing. It was in the container. I saw 2 samples there. I was like, yeah, mine was the second one in there. So I had this moment with these 2 nurses where we all realized collectively at the exact same time that we have a pee caper on our hands. We have a case of the missing pee and nobody knows where it is.
Okay. Gone. I thought it was on your pants. I thought maybe you missed the cup and you just pissed yourself.
No.
I thought where you were going.
No, literally they did not have it. And they go, sir, you're going to have to
Okay.
We lost
a weird
it.
Doctor's fetish.
I was like, this is the weirdest thing. Can you not sort, what kind of internal issues are you guys going through?
Yeah.
That you guys don't have this.
They fucked up.
And so I have to go out and I have to like try to like, I have nothing left to give. I literally gave you guys
you're making
all
it sound
I
like
have.
it was a sperm donation. No, this is pee. You can just take a drink of water and give him another pee, dude. I can always do a little pee. I can always do a little tinkle.
We got it figured out. But I was like, what is this doctor experience? Is this everyone's doctor experience? All that? This is why I don't go.
No, I don't go either. I haven't done a proper.
I'm like, I'm finished with the doctor. It's like, this is why I never go. It's always uncomfortable. I always feel weird. I always leave with bad news.
Dude, one time I told this guy, like, I want to get tested for every STD. And he goes, yeah,
He goes, every STD?
Yeah. And I said, and he lists them out. And I go, do AIDS too. And he goes, AIDS? And I'm like, yeah, test me for AIDS. And he goes,
what?
He goes, are you having anal sex? And I'm like, hey, test me for AIDS. And he goes, so are you receiving anal sex? Like, he's like doing this. Dude, I swear to God.
That's so funny.
He goes like this. I swear to God, this goddamn doctor, he goes, are you receiving anal sex? And I'm like, guy.
And it's not, hey,
I want to get tested for all of them.
Receiving.
He specifically said, like, are you engaging in anal sex?
And he gives like a weird, like,
oh no, he doesn't say receiving. Maybe he didn't say receiving. He just said, are you engaging in anal sex? Are you like, he made it, whatever. It doesn't matter. I said no, but I want to get tested. And he goes, okay, hold on. And he just makes a note. And I'm like, to this day, what is the note he made? What did he write down? This is like this, dude. This is a big thing, man.
Yes.
What does he mean?
Dude, these doctors are unbelievable. You got me in this thing. And then another thing, bro, they take my blood pressure, right? And I already know I have high blood pressure. It's like, I think it's hereditary or something. Because I don't eat that much salt.
No, it's
so,
because you're pissed, dude. Meditate.
I know I have PBD coming up. I'm like, no. So I you got the thing, and it happens. I know it's gonna be bad. And then she looks at me. She looks at me. She goes, looks at the number. And I'm like, is there anything wrong? She says, no, everything's fine. And she starts like jotting things down. And she goes, we'll retake it later. And I said, just give me the news. What's going on? If you're going to have to retake it, there's something going on. And that face is just like,
Yeah, it is weird. I don't like this clipboard. He asked me like 5 times. I'm like, hey, that's rude, man. That's inappropriate. Don't ask me if I'm having gay sex or like anal sex or whatever. He goes, are you there?
Yo.
Why do you want an AIDS test? Okay, whatever. And then he like writes it. He wasn't writing down the blood test. He wasn't writing down do the AIDS test. That's a separate thing.
Hey,
literally, just on his notes.
Literally, I gotta tell you, I wasn't gonna tell you the story, but you listen. I'm like Patrick David right now. I never tell this story. I never tell this story. So during this thing, I'm like, yeah, I have high blood pressure. And he's like, well, it's good you're getting it taken care of now, because a lot of guys, you know why they come in and see me? And I go, no. And he goes, ED. He goes, they can't get it up. Erectile dysfunction. And I was like, guy, just stop. I don't even know why other guys are coming in.
He goes,
by the way,
no, dude. Yeah.
That's not great news. Okay. Can you please?
Yeah.
I think he was trying to motivate me. He was trying to motivate. He goes, all the guys, they all think it's a joke. They all laugh at old Doc, whatever. And he goes, they all laugh at me. But then who's laughing now? I was like, you? Like who? Who is laughing?
He goes, once I get their dicks hard,
he goes, that's why they all come in. I'm like, guy, just take the stupid reading.
He's so cocky.
He's like, doing?
He's like, my patients, rock hard, dude. My patients, rock hard. They all laughed at me.
He was saying the opposite. He goes, all of them? He goes, nothing.
No, but isn't he bragging that like, they come in, nothing. Once they're done with Doc Brown, they got a hard ass fucking.
Bro,
that's so
I was just thinking the whole time, I'll never come back. I could be on my deathbed. They go, do you want to go to doctor? I said, no, not if he's going to start talking to me about his other clients' performance issues. I don't need to know it, doc.
It is, it's weird. Yeah, no, doctors are weird, man. I got to get my ass tested too. I got to go get it tested.
Really? You're at that age and stage.
I am at that age and
stage. Guys, we all know. Don't be rude to Amish just because he's old.
I am old, and my
What an example you are setting for the people right now, though.
What do you mean?
People need to go get colonoscopies.
Yeah, get your colonoscopies. Check your testicle cancers too. Check your testicle cancers.
That's true. I didn't check. I said, hey, leave it alone. Haven't I been through enough?
With your balls.
You've stolen my pee. Like, what is that? There was literally
lose? Come on.
That was the unbelievable part. And mind you, I haven't had coffee. I haven't had water. This is the best I can do. And they lose it. And then they're looking at me like I did something wrong. And I'm like, guy, I don't have any. Once it's out of me, I'd rather never see it again.
No.
You're the one who said, hey, collect it. What's going on?
I don't like this yelling down the hall. Hey, get his pee. No, put it in the official thing.
Like it was honestly felt like it was an add-on. They go, oh, you have to pee.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like they get another $50 for that. Get a pee sample.
that so like legit.
Like
that's
money.
probably the truest part of this whole thing. Is like probably like they're like we can bill the insurance. We can
Bill
bill
a
it.
pee. You got a pee sample. That's $800 in Texas probably.
Yeah, dude.
Yo.
So another thing this
Yeah.
guy does, he goes, hey, everything he was talking about, any kind of supplement or whatever he was like suggesting to me, he goes, hey, dude, I could write you a script for it, but if you want to do it on the cheap, and I always tell my clients how to do it on the cheap, you go buy a little bit of this on CVS, you go buy a little bit of that, you got a ding, 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 ding. You combine all three, boom, it's exactly what I'd give you here. And I'm like, does it work as well? He's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't comfort me though.
He goes, hey, I can give you a prescription for asprin. Or if you go to Bulk Barn, you get this, you get that. He gives you 3 things. Then you boil this in the
get a
bathtub
mortar
for 2
and
hours.
pestle.
And then, yeah. He's like, you can go buy aspirin like an idiot. Or, hey, I know a guy, he'll sell you some acetylcholine acid, and then go to Bulk Barn, mix it all together, cook it in the bathtub. Buddy, you're making your own aspirin.
And I was like, how much does the regular one cost? He's like, I don't know, like $40. I was like, give me that. Just give it to me. This is so uncomfortable. I only want to go one time to Walgreens, CVS, whatever the farms, and like never go again.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
a
no,
nightmare.
it's-
Anyway, I had to get, normally I don't talk about my personal life, but I had to get that off my chest, dude. What
Talk about your personal life.
By the way, speaking of urine.
What's up?
You know what I'm about to say?
I don't know. What?
Did you know about the big leak today? No pun intended.
What's the big leak today?
It's Watergate meets urine. Not Patrick David. London Real just had a leaked video of him drinking his own piss today. I forgot to tell you.
Doesn't he do this every day? Doesn't he?
It's the first time it was recorded. It leaked on record. Okay, I've got to show you this, and it's very topical because obviously we were talking about this. Let me read these real quick. Brian,
so
Coffee,
super
and
chats.
Amish, you are my 2 favorite YouTubers. Keep up the phenomenal work. Thank you. George
Thanks, baby. Love you.
Neves, true grandfather died from cancer, didn't check for what, got out of control. Sad. Yeah, that's why I'd go, but it's like, gosh, man, it's so tough. Seagal, LMAO, this is real valuetainment. Took a nap and woke up to Coffeezilla talking about open ass medical accounts. God bless you all. Listen.
Yeah. There's so many.
Let me show you this. Let me show you this video, dude.
We are so behind on our super chat. So
funny.
I know Vishal Patel gave us 201 and he just said like I'm very entertained right now or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But dude, we just went through basically your urine story. Hey, let's do more medical shit because the money rained down on that. I gotta say that.
People liked hearing about
People just
the
like
gowns,
your
the-
insecurities, your
well,
issues.
somehow I got this like phrase in
They
my
wanna hear it.
head.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they like randomly trying to poke you there? Like just like kind of get one up there and like test you. Go like, oops, I got you. Like now you're tested. I was like all up in my head about. I was like, what are you guys doing here? Why do I have to? It's so weird. Brian might be an MLM clinic. Lol. Coffee. What does figured out mean? I don't know what that means. It's too early of a reference. I don't know what you're referring to. Let me show you guys this thing though.
I'm an Assad, knock 30, and there's a dancing cow in like a hipster outfit. I'm an Assad, another knock 30 with another dancing guy. It says fist bump. There's one good dancing guy saying fist bump and one dancing cow. Sick, dude. Sam here, 499. Corporations are not citizens and should not be able to use money, aka speech, to grease up politicians. I already read that. What's going on here? Okay, I don't know. I swear to God, I saw on the screen a Vishal Patel, 201. He even did the Hindu donation, the 01 at the end. But anyway, we got to watch this. Let's see Brian Rose.
So let's talk about this real quick. So what I realized actually just now is these ladies basically accused me of pulling a Brian Rose. Because what's the only solution for I go in, I pee in a cup, I say I peed in a cup, the cup's gone. The only solution is someone drank it. Maybe they thought I was pulling a Brian Rose. No, that's what I'm saying. They go, hey, we've had this happen before. This guy, Brian Rose, came in. The urine was gone by the time we went in there.
No, this guy is a Brian Rose fan. You came in. He's like, hey, I could drink my own pee. Dude, drinking this whole community probably knows that drinking your own pee, it's good for you. But you drink someone else's pee? Superpowers. So this guy goes, hey, Karen, get his piss. And she got it. And then she comes back. He just goes,
she's like, actually, he'd like a little more. I mean, he lost it. Look at this. Look at this.
There we go. I'm gonna not have too much, but I'm gonna have enough to like it. Save some for later. So there you go.
Sparkling.
Wow.
He said, save some for later.
Wow, you got yours foaming and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got yours foaming.
Cheers, buddy. Okay.
Oh.
He put this up himself, no?
It's not bad.
So this kind of tells me I need to drink
So then he goes later and he drinks urine again.
a little more water because it's a little yellow. But let's have a little bit more.
Dude, he's stealing from the Hindu group. This is
so
a Hindu tactic.
salty.
This is from the Hindus, Brian Rose. You're stealing our culture. You're stealing our communities.
You say drinking piss is your culture?
100%, dude. It's a Hindu. It's like some old Hindu shit. They drink cow piss, and they got all these. I
say let Brian have that
one.
one.
My parents don't do it.
Let Brian have the drink your own piss thing. I mean,
I'll let.
Hey,
fair enough.
Listen, he's tried to have this video scrubbed from the web. Okay, that's something important to know. Yes.
I thought he advertised it. Like I've seen people.
No, he didn't advertise it.
No, I thought they advertised it like, "Hey, I'm doing this new health thing called drinking my pee."
Okay, so early on in London Real, he was like all about it. It was part of his show, but then he realized it's kind of a liability as the London mayor to be the first ever mayor who drinks their own piss.
So now it's the mayor.
So, but here's what I was thinking. Hear about this? Check this out. What if, would not the greatest marketing strat against Brian Rose be that we buy? So he's been buying billboards everywhere, right? Where of like his face like this. Would not the best thing be if we buy a billboard and all it is him drinking his own pee, and then in giant black letters is "I drink my own piss."
See, here's the issue, dude.
And then it has this stupid Brian for Mayor logo on.
Dude, this is where you got to be careful, okay? Because you and I got to talk about our guest too, Elaine. I think you're so mad that you like want to go, and now you're like, hey, let's do a Kickstarter to make a billboard.
It's a joke.
Okay, good. Just checking.
I know, and also it wouldn't be to actually affect his campaign. Like the only reason I thought of that and suggested it is it would be the funniest thing. Can you imagine in the center of one of the busiest cities ever, this guy spent $1 million. How funny is it if you just have him, the video he's tried to scrub.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's just drinking. Yeah.
It's too much fun for me. I'm like that is what I want to see in the world.
That's cute. I think it's, hey, we all have dreams, right? And you have a dream, and dude, go for it.
You could create a bunch of captions.
The doctor.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say the doctor might be a Brian Rose fan.
Yeah, totally. I mean, he seemed like
he would drink someone's pee. What is this drinking pee thing? It is like a big thing in India, but it's almost like not Indian. Like my parents, they wouldn't tell me to drink pee. They would say some great, most powerful guru, he drank his pee. But that's not for the real people. That's not for us. But then Baba Ramdas might have drank a little pee. I'm not saying he did. You never know. They get into stuff like that.
Sadhguru probably has. He's probably
Sadhguru maybe.
He's taking a sip. She's taking.
But
weird. To take the double tap, I mean, you gotta know to take the double tap, you've got to have liked it a little bit. Why else would you go back? They say try everything once, not twice.
Yeah. Well, they're doing it like once a week at least, or if not daily. Like they believe in this as a practice, as a health practice, that you clean your gut flora. It is insane, but it's actually not unhealthy. Apparently, it's not. It's like kind of sterile in some weird way. Like your kidney actually cleans it.
Oh, don't listen to these people. No, please.
No, you don't think so? I don't know. You're right. I've watched their videos, and they're like medically, it's not hurtful to you to drink your own pee. So it's okay to drink pee. Like I've seen people do that.
You don't want to become this, He
is wild, eh?
It's just,
What's going to happen to Brian Rose, man? He is just, what happens as you get older? You know, a lot of times, even I don't want to talk shit about the guy, but you look at people who join these MLMs. And I'm not saying Brian Rose is literally an MLM, but, a lot of people say that when he got caught up with, who's that other sociopath, that old man sociopath above him?
Dan Pena.
When he got caught up with Dan Pena, he started acting like a psycho, basically. I heard some people say that. I think you said that, actually. Probably one of your videos. But it's like you get older, the money's not coming in. it's wearing on your psyche, and then someone comes and says, "Hey, man, it's not going well. Drink your piss."
Yeah.
You say, "Hey, I tried everything else. What's left to do? I mean, I've made a mockery of myself. Let's test it out."
Hey.
Ears foaming and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers, buddy.
That's what you do. That's what you, honestly, you do. Guys, has this not been a great show? I've really enjoyed the show.
Did we get our super chats? I feel like there was like 10 on your screen, and I can't see too many of them. I know Vishal Patel did 2.
Yo, we have been doing our best. It's been, the support from the community has been insane.
Huge. What is
Taking the piss, you know you want to drop it. 16 Leo did a video about guys drinking divine protein from each other for health. Oh, no, I don't even want
divine
to know
protein.
What that is.
And another Vishal Patel. 501 this time.
Amish. You go ahead.
You should tell the coffee the science Hindus have been, sorry, raise it up.
Have behind piss consumption. I don't know anything about that. Do you?
I mean, Vishal, it's not science, Habibi. It's not science.
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. What I'm going to say
like
is
there is a Hindu science, like it's called Ayurveda, and they believe in stuff. Dude, my mom's 5 cancer cures.
Listen, I'm going to say
Ayurvedic.
this. The reason Brian Rose drank his own piss was not because he was interested in the health benefits.
Why do you think he did it?
I actually don't know. I have no idea. It just seems like something you would do. Why would you buy a 16 or like a 30-foot battle bus with like a 30-foot sculpture of yourself? Why would you like open a freedom platform and never do it? Like I don't know why he does what he does.
I think I've heard Dan Pena. Was that you? Did you said that, didn't you? Like when he got involved with Dan Pena, that's when he started turning. Oh no, you know what it was? It was Rebel Wisdom. So I saw your interview with Rebel Wisdom, and then they did an interview with his ex co-host, and his ex co-host said basically Brian Rose, cool guy, whatever, until gets involved with Dan Pena. Dan Pena's a psycho. Now Brian Rose is like, okay, well I got to get more. I wonder if Dan Pena has him on the hook for like 50,000. He's like, well, I got to pay Dan Pena, so give me the freedom platform. Like, he just went crazy after that.
Yo, there's an incredible. Before we go, I want to pull this up real quick.
Yeah. Also, before we go, hey, Lovers and Laughs this Sunday. Follow me on Instagram.
What's going on? Are you getting paid for this?
Yeah,
You're paid to shill this?
What do you mean? Don't say shill. It's a comedy show that I'm doing on Sunday, and I want to tell the people about it.
It's fine. I'm just kidding.
And they're gonna come see it. And
okay,
hey,
I've been chastised. Relax.
You have this show
Yo.
every Thursday for free, but this is something that some of my comedian friends are trying to do, and I think it's a cool event. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I know it's on Zoom, but I think it's gonna be sick. It's the Unknown Comedy Club.
I think people are gonna love it.
Yeah, man.
What if you got like record attendance from these people? From the Drip Army, baby.
From the Drip, baby. Yeah.
Yo.
No, I think it's gonna be a sick show.
So this is something I wanted to show you. This interview came out today, and like you guys have to understand, I'm so invested in the London election at this point. I will be live streaming it. It's so awesome. No, the London election is incredible. They got me so into it, dude. I like have multiple like parties I'm interested in. I'm interviewing Count Binface. Like I'm doing it all. By the way, that's a huge announcement.
Brian Rose wins. You are gonna be. You're gonna start drinking pee, maybe.
I mean? Like, hey, I will live stream drink my own piss if Brian Rose wins. All of you. What? No, I'll tell you. I will live stream drinking my own piss if Brian Rose wins. That's okay. Well, because I'll feel like the world doesn't make sense anymore, and I better join Brian's team because he's clearly.
London? Imagine he becomes the mayor, dude. He walks like this.
It will be the ultimate victory. I will have to do it. I've already said it. I've already said it, dude. It wasn't a joke. If he wins, I will be humiliated.
You know what? I'm going to jump in on this with you. I don't want to leave you hanging.
There we go.
I'm not going to leave you hanging, Stephen. Brian Rhodes becomes the mayor of London. I'm gonna take a big old gulp of my own pee-pee.
Hey, we'll do it together. Well, because that's what we do. We're in it together, and I appreciate that. That's why I love you, Amish. We're in it together.
What a great episode, man. It's so much fun today.
Oh, so good. It's been a great episode. So this guy, Michael Crick, everyone's been going soft on Brian, except me. And Rebel Wisdom, he's been going hard too. Check this out.
Yeah, Rebel Wisdom brought some heat.
Yo, dude, this guy though, this guy's old school British. So old school British, what you have to understand, they bring the heat on it, dude, because their questions are like, they sound polite, but they're the evilest, meanest questions, to the point where I was watching this and I felt bad for Brian. I didn't know it was possible. I was like, dude, this guy's getting murdered. I felt like a Billie Jean. You're getting murdered right now.
Bro, delete this, bro. Delete it. You look stupid, bro. Delete it.
in the race to become mayor of London.
You're done. You're done. You have to understand that British politics is like, bro, he's like signaling subconsciously, like, dude, this guy's a sham. Dude.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't like the Brits are like, hey, we ran the world. What is this Yankee? A bloody Yankee comes here and he's going to take London. He said Suffolk.
Yeah.
He said Suffolk.
What was on the
Check this out. Check this out. Basically, he talks about the fact, I don't want to just like go over this whole thing. You can watch it if you want. But then he confronts Brian on this. Check this out.
Yeah, let's watch it.
Bro, dude, we're ripped. This is where I started to feel bad for Brian. I said, hey, calm down, Michael.
Yeah,
calm down, Michael.
Michael's bringing the heat on him.
Bro, bringing the heat. So I don't want to take too much of this guy's like content, but
But we've talked about this before where
great. I mean, like, dude,
yeah,
killed the guy. Slew.
Killed it. And like, look, this guy, if I'm being honest, I don't even think he's necessarily a great journalist. But we've talked about this before where it's like, CNN is really good at Fox News is great at calling out the Democrats. CNN is kind of good at calling out Republican shit or whatever. The Russia Today, they won't talk about their own government well, but the Americans, they can call them out. This guy is a pro-British, I love England, God save the Queen, God save my country. And he just goes, an American wants to be the mayor of London. Well, let's have a look. And he basically just goes into it and he goes, who the fuck is this guy? He's running it. He's a con artist. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's great.
So that's what I wanted to show you. Yeah. Let's wrap up with some super chats.
Yeah, let's do some super chats. Kareem Ali, $5. Here you go. They made a kind of cult.
Oh, we can't watch.
At least save it for the thing. But yeah, check it. I don't know.
Maybe we'll put it in the Trello or something to talk about.
Put it in the Trello at least. Kareem Ali.
Oh, I do not want to watch this. No. I'm not going to watch drinking.
Okay,
I'm not going to watch that. No, thank you.
It can't be hit. Oh, this guy made us watch a bit. Brian, $5. As a kid, Mom would rub my body down with an egg to clean my body from illness and bad voodoo, juju type stuff. Every culture believes in weird things, LOL. Yeah, Brian, it's so true, man. All kinds of
Geronimo Venti. Brian drinks his own piss because it looks disciplined and wholesome. Tino, $5. Could it be that B Rose is being discriminated against because he's American? Yes, but there's a lot of good reasons to be unhappy with Brian. But hey,
but sometimes you discriminate and it's the correct thing. That's all I'm saying. Like that's all I'm saying. It's like when Russia Today, they won't say shit about Putin, but when they talk about America, they brought out
that's
some
the angle. I thought you meant like discriminate. I was like, no. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like, if you're going to do proper journalism on, like, let's say Republicans because you're a Democrat or Democrat because you're a Republican. Yeah, it's not a bad thing necessarily. I get what you mean. Great show, man.
Great show, man. Thanks.
Big ups to you. Thank you for coming with me. Baby. Guys, thank Amish.
It's so fun.
In your private time.
Baby,
in your private time, thank Amish for coming on.
This Sunday, Lovers and Laughs.
Appreciate
Check it out. It's on my Instagram at Fade to Brown. And yeah, I have another video coming out. I did save that PBD video.
Enough with the Lovers for Laughs.
Why not? What? I know you're okay. You know what? It has a 50-person capacity. It's gonna be sold out. But no, we're finishing the show, so I just want to mention that, and also just my Instagram at Fade to Brown. Follow me. I got videos coming up. Lovers and Laughs this Sunday. All
right, but, I'm hanging up.
We're Filipino The Drip every Tuesday. No, I'm just kidding. Ezekiel Mason $2.99. Link for that video.
Great hanging out, guys. Diligent Dabber $1. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks,
we'll
baby.
see you next time.
Woo! Peace.